Welcome to historic Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix. We are in the we're in the beautiful. Are we south or north? I have no idea where we are, but all I know is that we are in Belgium for the longest race on the calendar in terms of length of the track. Anyway, it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. I would say it is the best racetrack in the world. Look at it. It has everything. It has incredible straights going up from Eau Rouge over Radion, and then on the Kemmel Straight we got, of course, Lake Colm at the top of the hill, where Schumacher and Hill had a bit of a banging wheel session. It was brilliant, wasn't it? And of course we also have got Pouillon and also Blanchimont as well, isn't it? Straights, tight chicanes, of course, and we got La Source and the bus stop as well. But unfortunately, every time they modified the bus stop, they seem to butcher it more and more, really, don't they? So I prefer the old bus stop personally, but there you go. That's me. I'm old, and I really should I should really stop thinking about the past and think about the future, shouldn't I? And let's talk about the future, shall we? And of course, that is the drivers and the constructor standards. We have got 8 rounds left to go in this World Championship. There is 222 points up for grabs still, as give or take. Of course, there is. We've still got not a long road ahead of us in terms of crowning a new ALR World Champion, or will it be Granty going for 3 in a row as well? That is the question on our minds, so we need to get right, don't we, in the next 8 rounds or so? And let's talk about it. It is the championship standards. It looks like this. Emerson is currently leading 40 points in front of the double world champion Granty. This is the most that Emerson's ever lead a championship in his career so far. Can he keep it up? Total Peace, what a fantastic debut he is doing this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness me, we got rain, and oh dear, so we got a deluge of rain. This is not what the drivers want, do they? Remember in Hungary we had a bit of rain doing towards the end, and there is an absolute the track is saturated. And what do you expect from Belgium? I expect at least expect all the drivers to at least have done about 10 laps in the wet weather in terms of practice leading up to this event tonight, because more often than not this place has its own weather system, doesn't it? We'll talk about the rain in a minute, though, as I've got to get back to the championship. Total Peace is having a fantastic debut season. He's up in the third. He's only 62 points behind. Can he get himself in the championship towards the end of the season? I'm really looking forward to that. Alhan in a cracking 4th position, I got to say. Coming up from silver to gold, he has been impressive, hasn't he? We got Milan in 5th position and Fireshot in 6th. He has got a qualifying ban for not providing footage. We got Caesar in 7th position. He dropped down a position after the problems he had last week and the week before. Mr. Elite in 8th, fantastic. Jonathan in 9th position. Carroll on his way back up to the top 10, and Favre completes the top 10 as well in the Ferrari. Nigel, the former champion, down 11th position, but remember that Nigel won this event last season, doesn't he? So can he do it again this season? That has to be the aim for Nigel. Of course, the other big movers in the championship, Big Arns is now up in the 12th position. FIFA has dropped down into 13th. In the drop zone, it is BC's and Clarkey as BC, and also Clarkey and Tango have been promoted to the Haas team 4 times. So fantastic stuff from both guys. And I got to say, Clarkey and Tango were brilliant. And last race, Tango potentially should have won the race. I think he could have done, but unfortunately after lap 1 he was out, wasn't he? He did a Sergio Perez and went into the barrier quite hard. Tango did, but he is back in action here tonight as well. So good stuff indeed there for Tango. We're just watching Milan there coming up to Lake Colm as well. In the constructors, then we have Renault that has seen 27 points in front of Red Bull, who are second. Then 3rd position is the defending constructors champions, which is Williams. In 4th position is Racing Point. They have got overtaken the AlphaTauri team that have got completely new teams. And Jonathan is out of qualifying already, and oh goodness me, it is coming up of Eau Rouge and through Radion. He is out of qualifying. This is going to be apparent. Oh dear, the McLaren has been sprawled against the wall, and he is out. That is a big blow indeed there for Jonathan. And both McLarens are going to be starting more or less at the back. Then once again, McLaren are having a very difficult time, aren't they, this season as well. And they've got such a super tight team lineup as well. It's just not going well at all for him, is it? Oh dear, oh dear. Going back to the constructors, then we will talk about Jonathan's mishap in just a few moments. AlphaTauri have got another new driver lineup once again, and it seems like a revolving door at AlphaTauri, doesn't it? They're in 5th position. They're behind that Racing Point as well. Ferrari in 6th position. Then we've got Mercedes 7th. McLaren, unfortunately, be on the back row of the grid here tonight, 17th and 18th. Unfortunately, 9th position is Alfa Romeo, who have actually got in front of Haas, who are now the last team in the constructors standings. Indeed, and goodness me, that is not what I was expecting to be saying now is Jonathan has just said good evening, Sean, but I think that was before he has ventured into the war, and that is a big blow indeed. Then Painter said, Mumford plays. I said yeah, I said plays there and said Painter. Evening, Sean. Hello, Mumford. Hope you're well. Ayrton saying hello, beautiful. Oh goodness me, he must have caught me on my good side. We have got Brandon saying evening, Sean. Hello, Brandon. Equals with a big old 2 thumbs up as well. Granty, hello, husband. Hope you had a good week and a fantastic roast. I had a cheeky Chinese. Ooh, lovely. I wonder if does chicken balls go with Chinese? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not a man of the world, but I am a man of food, and I don't really know where I get most of my food from. All I do is that I usually finish whatever is put in front of me. Tango there going through Radion as well onto the Kemmel Straight as well. This heavy rain is absolutely deluging the track, isn't it? They're on the full wet weather tyres for this qualifying session, and it's going to be very interesting to see if this weather clears out for this event, or if this is going to be in for the remainder of the event as well. Thank you to our newest subscriber as well. So I'll read out your name in just a few moments' time. It's I've got to before I do though, let me quickly go through the older comments as well. So yeah, I did have a beautiful roast. There you go. Broke Gorilla evening. Hello, Broke. Hope you are. We've also got Stereogram. Hello from Stereogram. Jonathan says hate rain, hate for wets, prefer Intersen, and Jonathan there is very disgruntled as well. Of course, Jonathan then yeah, I don't think he's missed a race, has he? ALR, so fantastic stuff there from Jonathan, but unfortunately he's going to be missing the rest of this qualifying end. So since he made his debut, Jonathan, which was actually let me get up my old stats here, yeah, so Jonathan, since he made his debut in ALR, which is 57 races ago now, and he's never missed a race, and so fantastic stuff indeed then. So just having a quick glance at, oh goodness me, as a Tango getting a bit of a swapper on there coming out of Stavilo, I think, or is it Paul Frere? I think it's Paul Frere, isn't it? I apologise, I should really get up the old road map, shouldn't I think someone told me it was something different, and since then I've just really struggled with what it's called then. We got Rob Bourne Nigel then, who is of course in his of course won this race last time out, but of course more importantly for Nigel perhaps, and this is his 60th Grand Prix start in ALR Gold tonight, and so a fantastic achievement there. And Tango goes fast, is good stuff indeed there for Tango, because Milan is out qualifying as well at the same place as Jonathan. We have lost 2 cars already in this session. We'll come back to Nigel in just a jiffy, and that is not good at all. This rain is absolutely appalling, isn't it? This is not a way to celebrate your 60th Grand Prix, and Tango there is almost getting a swapper on as well, isn't he, as he comes over already on as well. But as Emerson goes fast as Nigel then, this is 60th Grand Prix start for Nigel. Fantastic achievement there. Of course, he is the first ever ALR World Champion as well. Let's take a look at some of his career stats as he navigates the bus stop chicane as well. 7 Grand Prix wins there for Nigel. He's had 3 pole positions as well. He's had 25 podiums there, and that is second in the all-time list there, along with Emerson as well. Fantastic, isn't it? Only 2 fastest laps, and so Nigel is definitely much more of a consistent runner than an out-and-out fastest lap, wasn't he, kind of guy. 5 driver today, so he's only had 9 DNFs in 59 race starts, and a lot of DNFs I think have come this season as well. So Nigel, very impressive indeed, and that is an incredible stats there. So hats off to Nigel. A big shout out to him there tonight on his 60th race start tonight. So lovely stuff indeed. He's got a yellow flag there as one of the racing points is just torn there. It's Big Orange there. He's had a couple of issues as well. So that's so Big Orange there, I think he's going to have another bite of the cherry. Here comes Alhan then, as he is just coming downhill. No, he isn't, as he's now just coming out of Stavlo as well. Then as we're just also watching Equals, we got Mr. Elite then, who's starting us up. We got Granty, the world champion, also starting us up. So we're going to stay on board with Alhan tonight then. Well, not tonight then, of course. If we stay on board with Alhan, I've got to say we'll have a fantastic race, won't we? Because this man seems to be in the heart of the action more often than not. Then the rain has eased off to me, so I'm wondering then if this track will obviously have great drainage, of course, and because of Spa, really, isn't it? And more often than not, we do have rain around this incredible circuit, don't we? And we can just list off a couple of the wet races that have really thrown up some amazing results. Alhan goes third fast at the moment. Talk about 98, then of course, if you talk about wet races around here, 98 comes straight to mine there with that incredible massive car pile up, didn't we? In 98, I got to say, it's one of my favourite races. It just had action after action, wasn't it? And that was the scene of Damon Hill's final race win, and it was a Jordan 1-2, and Jordan's first race win as well. I think the rain has eased off Good stuff indeed. Then, of course, 95 as well, where it was raining, stopped raining, raining, stopped raining, and of course, Schumacher showed once again why he is a brilliant driver there. He switched to the slick tyres, didn't he, for the end now, and he won from 16th on the grid. Then, after a brilliant joust with himself and Damon Hill, Big Hill was on the wet tyres, while Schumacher was on the dry tyres. It was absolutely textbook, wasn't it, from Schumacher? He was brilliant in the wet then, wasn't he? He was a very good wet weather driver indeed. Then. As we're just now watching, Mr. Leader coming through Blanchimont as well. Yellow flags is fluttering just in front of us, and we have lost 3 cars already. Fireshot already has got a qualifying ban there. We've got Jonathan, who's in the wall. Milan is also in the wall as well, and that is a big blow, isn't it, for Milan, because he's had 3 podiums this season. He's never won a race though, but he's also been on pole position 3 times as well. Mr. Elite goes 5th fast at the moment. What about Grant as he comes up to cross the line as well? No, he doesn't. He comes into the pit, so he throw me a curveball then. As Arns there is having another bite of the chair as well. Remember Arns' debut race back in at Silverstone, I think it was. My goodness me, ruffled the feathers, didn't he, of a lot of drivers. He is 4th fast at the moment in the racing point. Lovely stuff indeed. Then I'm expecting the intermediate tyres there to be, as a piece has gone wide there as well. He is third in the World Championship. Here comes Walker. A lot of you longest term fans there will recognise that name, Walker. I'm sure he was driving in silver, wasn't he, for a couple of races. He is now in the gold division, isn't he, as a reserve at the moment. And there is intermediate tyres already on Farf's, bolted onto Farf's Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed there from Farf. Then the 3-time Grand Prix winner, also got a lot of Grand Prix Grand Prix starts under his belt as well. Just watching equals at the moment now, and he's got an avid supporter there in the form of C Cupper. I don't know. I apologise, pal. I can't even say my name, let alone any names that are more complicated than Sean as well. So apologies. But thank you for the new subscription as well. We've also got Gordo saying hello. We've got Nunda saying, has the rain claimed any incidents in Eau Rouge? And as Sam unfortunately is asking Jonathan how he did that, and as Nunda's also said, Radion actually. Now coming into the bus stop chicane as well as equals. As you can see, there's a dry line already starting to form now, but look at the raindrops there streaming off of the onboard camera here, isn't it? Goodness me. Comes across the line. We've got intermediate tyres from Mumford. He is now venturing out, and as well as Farf. Caesar is invalidated. This time he's going to take another bite of cherry. Here comes Walker. As let's see what he can do. That is, he is just strolling around the track here in Belgium there, and of course those jokes were never. Oh goodness me, he's gone the grass there, so he's going to I think he'll be coming back in the pits in the not too distant future. Caesar has unfortunately invalidated his time. You got to be careful out here, of course. Even when you're on the wet tyres there, we can disperse. I think it's 80 litres of water per second, isn't it, or something like that. It was in 2019 anyway. There's an incredible amount of water that these wet wear tyres can really disperse it, so it's impressive, isn't it? Unfortunately, sometimes it's not enough, is it? It's more often than not in wet weather races. We don't really get to see these wet tyres, intermediate tyres used often. Maybe it's a safety gone mad, perhaps, and it is very difficult to drive Formula 1 cars in the wet weather anyway. Of course, the torque on these cars is absolutely frightening, isn't it? So you've got to be brave anyway. But yeah, I feel that perhaps we've gone a bit too safety mad, haven't we, with the rain then. Perhaps they should get the old monsoon tyres back. That's what they should do, shouldn't they? As Darren saying, evening on, good luck. Then we got Liam as well. Good luck to Walker, Beefy, and Tang tonight. Good stuff. We've also got Milan. Damn, that was hard. I think he means the hit then. And of course, Liam also saying the rest is good as well. Very nice chap you guys are. Oh, goodness me, Farf isn't. He is. Well, Farf is a nice chap, I suppose, but he hasn't been nice to that Ferrari, has he? He has been in the wall, and those intermediate tyres said it's not dispersing the amount of water that Farf once said. We're going to keep an eye on Mumford. No, Mumford's off as well, and he is spun it coming out of the bus stop chicane. Mumford has put too much welly on the accelerator, and he has spun it around, but that is his lap ruined as well. Then Grant is having another bite of cherry as well, as he is staying on the wet tyres. And Nigel is still out there as he has been fueled up. Then he is going to be as heavy as a boat, isn't he? Which is quite fitting, isn't it? So just watching that Caesar there come out of Lake Cotton as well then. And we have got Darren saying we should bring back the old bus stop chicane. I concur with that. I want the old bus stop chicane back. Of course, they modified it so many times, didn't they? I think they had like 2 or 3 versions, didn't they? They had the traditional one, and then they had like more of a very tight one. And then I think Spa was taken off the calendar, wasn't it, for 2003 for that modification? And then it was taken off the calendar again, wasn't it, in 2006, if I'm not very much mistaken? Before we got the new bus stop now, then, which yeah, I think Yeah, bring back the old bus stop. I'm definitely with you on that one, Darren. We've also got Zaki saying hello, good evening for so Jonathan saying I'm on my Belgium chocolate to down with Sarah said. I gotta say I'm really happy at the moment tonight because I have found an Easter egg. So so I'm absolutely loving life. Of course, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing after this race. Is I'm just having a good old chocolate Easter egg. Albeit I thought I had a roast. I had a bit of pork chops tonight. Oh my goodness me! Caesar's in the wall. Oh, Kimi Räikkönen was in that wall, wasn't he? Back in 2008, there in as slippery. It was not as slippery as these conditions were, they. But Caesar is in the wall. He's only got 4 minutes. It's a long track, and of course we're in 2 minutes almost with the fastest times as well because of the wet weather here. BC's out on circuit, so it's far. Everyone is on the intermediate tires, and apart from Granty, we're on board the world champion now. And of course, he had a great race last time out in Hungary, didn't he? But he doesn't want to be starting in the midfield more often than not. Caesar is going to have to get into the pit, so he's got 4 minutes to get himself in and back out then. Intermediate tyres, and for a lot of drivers out there, we've got a lot of drivers who aren't set times either. This is going to get very, very perilous indeed, isn't it? And as we're over the start-finish straight then, let's see what Grant can do. He goes third fastest then. Good stuff indeed. Emerson is now put on the intermediate tyres. Is that a risk too much there for the championship leader? We'll find out as well then. He is currently through, but of course, I think he needs to be in it to win it, doesn't he? As here comes Beasties coming down the Lake Holm straight as well, and that rain has definitely eased off, hasn't it? Of course, when we was on board with, I think it was with Nigel, wasn't it? We just seen the raindrops splashing off the monocoque of the Mercedes, and it's not splashing much anymore, is it? But goodness me, there's still a lot of moisture in the air, isn't there? As a BC there is taking a couple of bites of cherry to get that Ferrari through. Now with the Jackie Hicks turn, I think it's the corner of no name still officially, even though I'm sure Jerome D'Ambrosio said that it was the Jackie Hicks turn, but I've never heard anyone else say that. Here comes BC there coming through Pouillon now as well. Lovely somebody. We're on board the Ferrari driver then, and you can see then that we are now getting very much into a intermediate window, aren't we? Who is out on track on the wet tyre still? It is still Granty. It is Big Arns there as well. They're both second and third at the moment. Emerson, who is leading the charge at the moment, hitting his first qualifying session, is on the intermediate tyre set. Who is in the drop zone? We've got both McLarens there, 17th and 18th. Unfortunately, Walker needs to get a time in. Milan, unfortunately, out as well. So we're going to be losing another driver. So we've got to lose 4 drivers in this session. No, we aren't. We've got to lose 3 drivers in this session. So Walker just needs to get a time in, I think. So perhaps send it to the lottery, which I probably should have said a bit earlier on, really, because I've been speaking absolute rubbish. But with Milan there also having issues, and all these guys need to do is put a time in, really. So maybe just keeping on the wets there was not a bad shout at all. But BC's has just shown that the intermediate tyres are definitely the way to go. On board at the moment with FIFA, as he is in the Red Bull. And I've got to say, since of course with FIFA will be known to a lot of you fans out there that he is he was a silver driver, wasn't he? But I've got to say, since he became a reserve driver and been shown his talent in gold, I think he's been an absolutely outstanding driver, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed from FIFA Beefy, and he has shown flashes of brilliance in the past as well, hasn't he? So I feel that. I'm really happy to see FIFA in the gold there, and hopefully he can show some of that pace that he's shown in silver in the past one. Hopefully get some few podiums there under his belt as well. Here comes Walker, as he hasn't set a time yet. He is in the drop zone at the moment, taking a few bites of the cherry there, coming over the bus stop chicane as well. So we've got Mumford, who's just moved himself up into a second position, I think it was. I don't think it was Mumford, but Walker goes fastest there, 7/10 of a second in front of the next car. Emerson is in the wall. Emerson is out of qualifying. Goodness me, then I think he's just up against this wall here. Oh no, dear, it's the same place as where Kimi Räikkönen crashed in 2008. We also said Caesar, and oh my gosh, Emerson, the championship leader, is in the wall. Oh goodness me, on the run up through Blanchimont. That is a big blow, isn't it, for Emerson? The championship leader is out of qualifying very early on indeed. That is. FIFA comes across the line. He goes 6th fastest at this moment in time then, and that is a huge development here in Spa tonight. Oh goodness gracious me, that is a terrible thing to be happening then. just watching Esports as well. So he's coming down through Puyong now as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then yellow flags is fluttering all over the circuit. Then as this is becoming a bit of a monopoly, hasn't he? But Emerson there, of course, this season he's been in fantastic form. Hasn't he? He's won 4 Grand Prix. He's been on pole position 3 times as well, and he's had 7 podiums, which is the most out of anyone. Well, he's going to have to earn it today. He's going to have to do a Michael Schumacher-esque drive from 95 if he wants to get the race win tonight, because he is well down the order then. And yellow flags is fluttering there as we're coming up to the bus stop chicane as well. We've still got Caesar, who hasn't set a time, nor has Pease yet either then. So those guys have still got to set a time if they want to get through in the qualifying too. Oh, goodness gracious me then. As just taking a quick look then as well, as we've just got Darren saying I contrast there, seen that Caesar lol. We have also got as we've also got a couple of other comments as well. We'll talk about that in a minute, because Equals up into 7th position as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Here comes Alham back out on circuit. We got Nigel then, of course, in his 60th race start tonight, and I'm going to be mentioning that quite a lot tonight because it's a special day, isn't it, for our Nigel as well. Of course, driving in his 60th Grand Prix, the former world champion there from season 1. Oh my goodness me! No, Granty's okay. He's in the pits. I just seen Granty's name not light up there, and that to give me a bit of a shock there. So apologies, guys. There, as I'm really giving you false information. And German has just mentioned scenes. It is scenes, isn't it? With Milan out, with Emerson out. Of course, that is 2 of the top 3 in Hungary that are out of this qualifying session already. We're going to be seeing a lot of big names in this season there really be trying to charge through the field. This race, this track there is very it's quite easy to overtake on, I'd say, more or less. Of course, going through Radion in Eau Rouge. 3 seconds. Nigel is up on this second intermediate split time. As you can see, the track is draining quite nicely, isn't it? And we've just got Total PZ, who is just coming through the final part of the circuit as well. Got to keep an eye on Nigel at the moment then, and let's see what we can do. Pease is currently in the drop zone. So as it stands at the moment, we do have 5 cars out of qualifying. But if Pease can get a time in, he will only have 4 cars. As we just watching Nigel there accelerate out of the bus stop as well. And of course, a bit of a shake of the wheel there from Nigel. He goes into full fast mode then. Of course, Nigel will have happy memories from this place, because remember last season he won the race, didn't he? On board with Total Pease as he is coming out of the bus stop chicane as well. And oh dear, Pease there is struggling there. So there's a problem for Pease. I think there is. And well, look, to me that might be that he is out of qualifying, because he is 16th there and was not within the time of Milan, and he is out of qualifying. So I think that we have got 5 cars out of qualifying going into qualifying 2. Goodness me. And that might be 3 for 3. So all the people that was on the podium last time out in Hungary are out of qualifying. Goodness me. Who is going to step up and take control of this event here in Belgium tonight for the gold ALR Belgian Grand Prix? Goodness me. Incredible stuff indeed then. As we got Emerson saying, that was tricky. Grant saying, I'm in the pits this time, I'm not in the wall. so is Granty there. Oh, sorry, I've just smashed myself in the face there. Granty's in the wall. Luckily, Granty is not in the... No, Granty is in the pits. Luckily, is not in the wall. And, of course, then the double world champion, who's 40 points behind the race, the championship leader at this moment in time. Can he now? This is what he exactly needs to do. I think that we might have dry weather running by the end of this qualifying session, as P's unfortunately is 16th and out of qualifying as well then. And Jonathan says us big guns are at the back then. Well, let's elaborate on what Jonathan means by that. Look at this, far shot down in 18th position. He's a former Grand Prix winner. We have got Jonathan, a former Grand Prix winner, and the man who has most pole positions in gold as it stands in this day in history. Pease, a former Grand Prix winner, out. Milan then, who's been on pole position 3 times in his career in ALR, is out. Emerson, the championship leader, the man who's got 14 race wins under his belt, is also out of qualifying. That is 14th, 15th, 16th and 17th. My word, then, there has already been some teardrops, hasn't there? It's not just been raindrops, it's been teardrops as well in this first part of qualifying. And goodness me, then that is a very shocking turn of events, and well, I've got to say, I love that qualifying one. Fantastic, brilliant, I love it. I'm not sure some of the guys in the wall won't love it though, will they? Unfortunately, then. And as we're now then going into qualifying 2 as well, then as German has just said, scenes there as well, as I'm trying to catch up there. But yep, sorry guys. Right then, we're into qualifying 2. We've got 15 minutes. And who else is going to be a victim of the barriers here in Belgium? And I don't see any rain whatsoever. There is still a sprinkling, so it's still intermediate tires. tyres. But yes, the rain has stopped then as quickly as it came, hasn't it? So we might see dry tyres in this session as well then. So you guys have got to be very much on those toes, haven't they? And I hope you guys are on your toes in the comment section as well, of course, or wherever you're watching around the world. Then Emerson has said there, going to be like a reverse grid. Then, of course, as Forza said, the tables have turned as well. As Farfar is just it's just gone in there with bottle job then as well. So for Farf, I think has been starting near the back in the last couple of races, hasn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Farf to still be in this race as well. Of course, so Farf, the admin of Bronzer. I'd like to say I do have a lot of banter with Farf, albeit there the top, he always goes solid on me, so I'm not sure if he likes me that much. Right, we got 14 minutes in this qualifying session, and already drivers are starting to go on to the slick tyres already then. We got Big Orange who is on the soft tyres, but they haven't come out of the garage yet. I think who is going to come out of the garage and really test the limits then. Well, at the moment, no one is really seeming in too much of a rush, Scouters. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to hear me waffle on for a bit, aren't you? Which I got to say, I don't mind about that at all, really, because I do love a good waffle. And I don't mean waffles on my plate. I also mean waffling as it comes out of my on my mouth as well. As far as saying, you saving some ginger biscuits. Oh, save me some ginger biscuits. Well, I got to say that's a stretch too far for me. I do love a good old biscuit. I love a Jaffa cake as well. As DRS has been enabled, and that is the sign, and race control has just shown us the DRS has been enabled. That is the drag reduction system, and that more often than not means that we are going to get some dry weather running in as well. That's incredible, isn't it? The transition in this event is so quick, isn't it? Here in Belgium, there we've gone from full wet weather tyres to intermediate tyres to almost a bone dry track in what, 10 minutes? What, 10, 12 minutes, 15, 20 minutes? We haven't even been on air for that long. Oh my goodness me, it's absolutely incredible, isn't it? That's why I love the Belgian Grand Prix there, of course. It has its own weather system, doesn't it? Very similar to Austria, really. Every ALR race, I'm sure Austria has always had a sprinkle of rain towards the end, hasn't it? Just ask Nosey and Dan Murphy. Unfortunately, they have been victims of that sprinkling of rain now towards the end of the race in the first and second season, definitely for sure. So, of course, as we're just taking a look now, what was last year's pole position then? Well, last year's pole position was set by Grant as well. He would love to get on pole position again here this season, and I think he needs it, doesn't he? As we are on round 14 out of 22, then this is the longest season in ALR history. So, I gotta say, there's a lot more twists and turns in this World Championship, as we've already seen in this qualifying session here tonight. But Grant does need to get on pole position, doesn't he? Of course, he was a pole setter last summer. The out-and-out lap record around here was actually set by the silver reserve driver, which is a William now, a 1:43.663 there. When he burst, I think he made his debut, didn't he, in that season, didn't he, for season 2 for ALR? He burst on the scene now and just really threw the car all over the place, and he was fantastic, wasn't he? And he got his first pole position as well. Of course, the fast lap is a 1:44.180. I wonder if that'll be beaten here tonight as well. As we just got Sam saying that everyone's just casually chilling in the pits then, and as we've just also got Zaki saying pretty impressive how Sean knows all that info, number of races last year's pole time and all that kind of stuff. I'm just a big old nerd, really. I love a good stat or two. Then we've also got Darren saying get your finger out, Granty, and we've also got Wilson saying good luck to Tango and Beefy as well. And I've got to say I love it when you guys are. I've got your favourite drivers, and it's really good stuff indeed. That, and I really enjoyed the support, and I'm sure that they will appreciate the support as well as they watch the stream back, or if they don't watch the stream back, I don't blame them because I'm on commentary, but if you mute it, then that might be even better for you. Right, we've got 11 minutes to go, and we've got a car out on circuit that it felt like the old school Formula 1 qualifying, if I remember that. I think it was wasn't it Austria 1998 there, before you seen a car out on circuit. Like, it was like 40 minutes into the session. They're only an hour long sessions, aren't they, between 96 to 2002. Before then, of course, it was a really good air time. We usually send a Minardi out or a Turl out back between those days as well, because unfortunately Turl had a bit of fall from grace, didn't they? And they was more of a back end team in the mid to late 90s, unfortunately. And of course, the Minardi team, who were so good at spotting talent, weren't they? The list of drivers that they've pulled out and come through the ranks there. Giancarlo Fisichella drove for him in '96. He was brilliant, wasn't he, Giancarlo Fisichella? He has a race winner as well, but unfortunately, never really Never really got up to his full potential, I don't think, unfortunately, for Giancarlo Fisichella. We've got Fernando Alonso as well, of course, made his debut with the Minardi team in 2001. Mark Webber made his debut for Minardi in 2002. We've got Justin Wilson as well, of course, the late great Justin Wilson, of course, one of the most tallest drivers in Formula 1 history, and unfortunately, I think that did really play heavy against him, didn't he? But he was a really good driver over in the IndyCar series, wasn't he, over in America? So it was, I think he was a good driver indeed for Justin Wilson. Whoever Minardi drives we see come through, of course, the legendary Tarso Marquez as well. I think he drove for Minardi from 97 there when he had splashes of brilliance here, and also in 2001 as well. I think he was driving for Minardi before Alex Young took a seat there when they got a lot of Malaysian money, didn't they? Alex Young did inject it into Minardi. Anyway, enough about Minardi. I do love Minardi, by the way. I really wish that I'd love to see him come back, but in this climate and this day and history in Formula 1, it's not really ideal for minnow teams like that at the moment, is it? So I think that's what they got to really adjust, is the costs, haven't they? And they are doing that now, but yeah, but it would be nice to see a team like Minardi there come back into the fold, wouldn't it? As we're on board then with Mr. Elite, and as he is now then flying through Eau Rouge and into Radio as well. Unfortunately, saying unfortunately, Fisichella had Alonso as his teammate and Flavio as a team principal. Yes, of course, the legendary Flavio Briatore. Which I gotta say, he was a tough customer, wasn't he? But I gotta say, he did get the job done, didn't he? More often than not, with the Renault team and with the Benetton team as well in '94 and '95. We're on board Mr. Elite then, who had a cracking qualifying last time out in Hungary. But I think he had such a good race, didn't he? And then unfortunately, he just seemed to drop back, didn't he, towards the end of the race, which really hurt Mr. Elite. But of course, he's driving the Renault, and they are leading the constructors at the moment. And I think he's doing a very good job for Renault. They're collecting points, and Mr. Elite is got 43 points at the moment there for his team, and he is very good at collecting points. And Mr. Elite there, another driver that has been a long-serving driver for ALR as well. And I got to say, the more the ALR goes on, I just love the fact that we get more and more stats that come out. It's brilliant stuff indeed then. And just taking a quick look then as well then, as Sam is saying, someone leave the pits and entertain Sean then, as Grant is saying, I'm going to try. And we have also got Grant saying, appreciate your support as well. I laugh out loud. Yellow flags was fluttering there, as I think one of the Williams cars is just having a couple of issues there, going through Puyong as well. We're just watching Mr. Elite then, car 22 then, now we're getting the bus stop chicane as well, in the Renault then, of course, they're leading the constructors at the moment. DRS, there's two DRS zones around here. We didn't talk about it much in qualifying one, because of the moisture coming out of the air then. But good start there from Mr. Elite then. We've got Big Orange, who is just starting his lap as well. Grant is on a fast lap, so is Nigel as well. Tango is also on a quick lap. Remember, he was leading after the first corner last time out in Hungary. Can he do the same again here tonight? And hopefully he can complete more than one lap as well. Equals to start this lap. FIFA is in the final, the middle sector as well, actually, isn't he? He comes down out of Stavlo and into Paul Frere. We got yellow flags then, fluttering then in the bus stop chicane there, just queuing up then to give themselves some breathing space as well. Now we're just watching FIFA then fly through Blanchimont now as well. Of course, Verstappen had a mighty overtake here back in 2015, didn't he, when he was driving the Toro Rosso. That was his first official year. Oh my goodness me. And who is that in the wall? It's Tango. Tango's had some issues there. He has damaged the wing there, and he's going to have to come back in the pits there. He's only got 6.5 minutes though to get himself back in. FIFA goes into second position when we got a Ferrari who is just starting up. That is Beasties, who has had the pace, but unfortunately he hasn't really got any points to do his to show for his efforts just yet in the Ferrari. Can he do it again here tonight? We got Nigel, who goes fast, and of course he's got happy memories. Nigel's around this circuit. He is currently on the fastest in qualifying 2 at the moment. Granty, who was on pole position last season, he is fast at the moment in qualifying 2. We got a Haas there who's just starting his up as well. We got Mumford then at the top of the hill. We got Big Orange there, who's on soft tyres here at the moment. Everyone else is on the medium tyre. And we spoke about the tyre selection there. Goodness me, I need to pull my finger out as well. Gosh, Equals there is just coming up to the very slow Mr. Elite then, who's come back in the pits then. Equals is also in the relegation zone at the moment, and we're on board with him now then. And as just going through Blanchimont as well. Sam there saying, watch Mumford. I want him to bottle it. So Mumford is currently on the lap at the moment, and there was a yellow flag where Mumford was sitting, and so hopefully he hasn't bottled it. He calls then coming out of the final turn, then it calls said him and BC are in the relegation zone at the moment. They need a big weekend. He is 6/10 of a second behind at FIFA B for the moment. Caesar coming out of the final turn as well. FIFA, his teammates done a 44.6, and Caesar, the race winner in Austria, he is fast at the moment on a 42.6 there. Good time indeed then. Alhan has started his time as well. There's a lot of action going on. Tango is oh goodness me, and this might be a bit bit perilous. Mumford I think is abandoning that lap anyway. We got Beasties who is coming into the bus stop chicane as well. Look at that, breaking down into third gear. It still takes a lot of speed through the bus stop chicane, isn't it? This is very much a low downforce track, isn't it? Mumford is going to have another bite of the cherry now. Beastie goes fast there and shows that he is a very competent driver, doesn't he? He's a very good, skilled driver, and hopefully he can have a bit of the rub of the green now. Here comes Walker, then staying away from the green at the moment, because it's going to be very slippery if you get out there, and you might be going to the scene of the accident if you get too far out there. On board of Walker then, as he's navigating himself through the bus stop chicane. The back end is trying to overtake the front end, but Walker goes into fourth fastest at the moment now, with over 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session then. So there is all to play for still. Big Orange there is back out again, and Mumford is 200 a second up. We're on board then with Mumford at the moment then, and he has scored 11 points so far this season. He's this will be his 9th start this season, Mumford is. Of course, Mumford was ever present since making his debut last season, wasn't he? He's missed a couple of races this season, Mumford has. And I think so far, I think I said it in the Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying, he was so good in the pre-season, wasn't it? It was the first time ever that ALR did a live presentation of pre-season, didn't we? We had 3 races to really show what these drivers were made of. It was absolutely, it was really good stuff indeed there. Very interesting to see how the new game was playing out with how the old guys really drove the game. And Mumford was one man that really stuck out for me. Mumford and Milan there, of course, they were the super team of Alfa Romeo, but unfortunately Mumford had to step out of his full-time seat for a couple of races there, but he's back in action now, and he's in the Williams team, isn't he? And can he help the Williams there get their second Constructors' Championship? Of course, that'll be Granty's third at Constructors' Championship as well. Fantastic. And in a row then, he's of course won the Drivers' Championship twice, and can Granty also win the Constructors as well? Let's see then. Mumford goes across the line. He is 6th fastest at this moment then. Equalizers was going for a second bite of the cherry there, but unfortunately that's not the case. We got Big Arns there, who is on the soft tires once again, and Big Arns is, so he is sticking with the soft tire with his commitment to soft tires. There were less than 2 3/4 minutes to go then. Tango is out on circuit as well, so is Farf, and Farf usually is a one and done kind of driver, isn't he? But once again then, and once again he's doing the same here tonight then. And so here we go then. Big Arns, of course, he was a couple laps away from possibly winning the British Grand Prix on his debut for Big Orange then. Unfortunately, the safety car came out at the wrong time, didn't it? And really robbed him. But let's see what he could do here tonight. And he was a bit off the pace, wasn't he, in the Hungarian Grand Prix, Big Orange was. But having said that, I'm sure that he got 2 points. So he did get 2 points there. So Big Orange there wouldn't be too despondent. In every race he's participated in so far in ALR, he has scored points then. I've got a bit of sunshine now at the up the Kemmel Straight then. Lovely over the shoulder shot as well from Big Orange as he's coming through Lake Com as well. Now dropping down the hill. Now it's like a roller coaster ride, isn't it? As you can see, unfortunately I think we're too low down this camera shot, but you can see, when we go through the corner, no name, you can almost see the pit buildings there. As we now look at this, as we're now pointing downwards, and of course it's going straight on here at Puyol. You will end up back to the start finish straight more often than not. Then, but of course there's a bar in the way, and Big Orange there unfortunately would not get any points for a shortcut, will he? There we've got Grant out qualifying. Caesar and Beastie is also out as well. They are still in the pit, so I don't think they've come a cropper on the circuit then. Of course, it was very perilous in the wet, wasn't it? Big Orange there going slightly wide there, but he is keeping it within track limits. Good stuff indeed then. Now he's on the back straight as well. Look, we got a bit of heat haze now coming off of the tarmac. Lovely stuff indeed then. Walker's also retired from the session as well. He is in full position at the moment then. So is Mumford then. This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Less than a minute to go then. There might be some tears in this qualifying session. Here comes Big Orange then. Well, in the second part of qualifying session anyway, we've already had tears in the first part of qualifying, didn't we? He comes up the line, and Orange goes fastest there, to 10th a second in front of Beastie. Tango then is up at Puyong as well. Farf is cut up to Lay Calm then. We're going to stick with Tango for the moment then. And what an incredible start he had last time out for Tango. I think that was his first race, wasn't it, in ALR? Brilliant stuff indeed there for Tang. I've got to call him Tango though, because as soon as I started calling him Tang, it just didn't go very well, did it? As he had a big old smash there, and it caused the safety car last time out in Hungary. He is fast in the second intermediate split time in his personal best. Oh, getting a bit too turning in a bit too tight on the Alfa Romeo there. Now then, as he flies past me, brilliant stuff indeed there. A yellow flag coming up at Calm then. I think that is just Big Orange there coming back to the pits. The checker flag is about to be pulled out then. It is pulled out now, and that is it then. Who hasn't started time then will not be able to start a time now. They have to go to live with their efforts. Here comes Tango coming across the line. He goes fifth fastest then. Nigel is currently on the cusp, and Equals is also on the cusp as well. As Equals is in the pits there, so he can't defend himself, can he? We got Mr. Elite, FIFA, and Farf and Nigel all out on track then. And who is going to be I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are really going to be sweating for this, aren't they? Further in, the two Williams guys might be a bit in trouble here as well. We're just watching Farfet. He is on the medium tires there, climbing over those curbs out the bus stop chicane then before accelerating away. Let's see what Farf can do. DRS is on the money. He is 9th fast at the moment there. He is behind the Williams team then. Nigel is just coming through the corner with no name. Mr. Elite there is just behind Nigel. We're just watching FIFA as well, who's also just behind as well. So we're just going to stay with Nigel for the minute as he flies through the fantastic Puyo corner as well. And I've got to say, it's probably the most difficult corner on the circuit now, isn't it? With so much downforce going through Eau Rouge and Radion. Then we've had some big smashes up there, haven't we? Not only today, but also in the world of real world of Formula 1. Jacques Villeneuve in a row, didn't he? Had a big smash up there when I think it was in practice in the Williams, and then him and Zonta had a bet of who can go through there flat out. These days the drivers wouldn't even bat an eyelid, but back then in the 99 cars then they didn't stick to the ground as much as these cars. That's a fact as well. They also had grooved tyres on as well, and less contact patch with the tarmac as well, wasn't it? Nigel then, the man who won last season here I should say, out of the final turn and DRS in. Nigel is in fast as well. Good stuff indeed there. Alhan has moved up to second. Both Mercedes are right in the thick of it. FIFA is out of qualifying, unfortunately, and so is Mr. Elite as well. And so that is it then. And out of qualifying, we have lost Mr. Elite. We have lost FIFA Beefy, and we've lost Equals as well then. But and they might be not too despondent with that, because they can get to choose whatever tires they want to start on then for this 22 lap race, which is not too far away. Then we still got another qualifying session of 12 minutes of more exhilarating fast pace action of ALR, and we got to determine who's going to be on pole position. I got to say, I have no earthly idea. This is going to be fantastic. No Emerson, no Pease, no Milan there as well. The top three from last time out are not in qualifying. No Jonathan Cox, the most successful driver in qualifying in ALR Gold history with 10 pole positions to his name then. This is going to be fantastic, isn't it? And it really is indeed then. So the players then in qualifying 3 is Farf, Mumford, Granty, Tango, Walker, Caesar, Beastie, Big Arms, Nigel and Alhan. What an incredible list there. Mr. Elite then is 12th on the grid there, but he can get to choose whatever tires he wants to start on. Same with FIFA, but he is 12th on the grid then in the Red Bull, and you can get some points from there. And Equals in 30 position as well. He needs a big weekend, doesn't he? Equals does, as he is near the, well, I think he's near enough at the bottom of the bottom of the championship, along with Beasties as well then. So that's the end of qualifying too then, as FIFA there is streaming up behind that Mercedes then, and I was really clenching there because of course FIFA's had not FIFA, Formula 1's had some issues there with AI damaging the cars that have already gone to qualifying 3, haven't they? So that's very interesting. So look at soft tires then for Alhan, Nigel and Big Orange. Those guys are going to have to start on those soft tires going into the race as well later on in just a jiffy then. Everyone else on the medium tires and going into the race then. We got Mr. Elite, FIFA and Equals there, who are all out of qualifying, and qualifying 3 is coming up in just a minute as well then. Clarkey, here we go then. I'm in, boys, stay away from me. I've had no practice at this. Clarkey, I'm glad he's given us giving us an heads up there. Clarkey, of course, who was unfortunately had a qualifying ban as well, but as he supplied no footage either, but hopefully Clark can get some points. And I think he finished 11th or 12th in the Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't he? Which I think it was penalties, unfortunately, in the end for Clark, which didn't give him, which took him out of the top 10. But this is his first official race for the AlphaTauri. As AlphaTauri, I've got a new lineup with Clark and Tango, and of course that is a strong lineup as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what those guys can do. Unfortunately, Clark is on the back foot though, isn't he? As he would, he is not able to take part in qualifying, but he is going to be able to take part in the race. He'll be 19th on the grid there. And this race, if you do want to qualify and ban, probably here and Monza is probably one of the best two best races to do it in, really, isn't it? As overtaking is slightly easier around this track, isn't it? And talking over Clark, his teammate, it is Tango coming out of the pits now. And here he is, he's coming through last source, and look how tight it is coming out of the pits then. And here we go then, let's see what we can do. Mumford also out on the circuit as well. Good stuff to see Mumford back in action as well. Can he fulfill his potential this season then, or for the final 8 races? That is surely Mumford would surely like to get into the top 10, because he has the pace, doesn't he? Mumford does. He's just been involved in some very unlucky skirmishes, hasn't he, for the Williams driver. And of course Williams is going to start to need him there as we count down to the final stage of the season as well. Williams in the constructors are currently they're only 47 points behind Renault. They're 20 points behind the Red Bull team as well. But if you get 1-2 in Formula 1 these days, it's 44 points, isn't it? So that is not a lot either, is it? Can Williams get 1-2 though? It's very rare in league racing in the ALR that we do get 1-2s. I think we had a 1-2 in the Haas in the Haas team in silver, didn't we, last time out? And Hungarian Grand Prix, great race as well between great race as well. I think it's for Liam and for Gurman. And we also had a 1-2 in the I think it was the second ever race, wasn't it, in bronze in the Spanish Grand Prix. It was Irish Potato and some other fellow then who got the 1-2, wasn't it? And of course that was Irish Potato's debut in bronze. Of course he went on to win that World Championship that season, didn't he? He's been a bit unlucky in silver this season, isn't it? But we'll cover all that in the qualifying and the race show tomorrow night, which of course silver is on at 7:30 UK time then. So keep an eye on that then. Good stuff indeed then. And we're just coming over the grid hatch as well, and we're about to start this up then. And let's see then. Clark is saying, I didn't get to choose my car, so ignore the fact that I am in a Haas. Said, oh, so yeah, Clark is in a Haas and rather than an AlphaTauri. But I think we had that problem back in Hungary as well, where Dan Murphy decided to jump into McLaren now, which was very rude, wasn't it? Because that should have been. I should have been someone else's seat as well. I'm getting too old for this, aren't I? I need to write everything down then. As Darren is saying, don't forget your setup, Clark. Then, of course, Darren, who I got to say, very generous in the old comments. Darren is, isn't he? I would, of course, even if he is a competitor in a different league, would I have said it? Possibly not. But that's just the person I am. Then I'm not a very nice person. We got Mumford there, who's coming out of the corner of no name. Then, and here he goes as well. Then, lovely stuff indeed. Then the back end is trying to step out slightly. We've also got Liam saying, good luck to all in qualifying 3. He reckons the pole position would be a 41-2 then, which would be all-time lap record, which is actually going to be, I think it's about 2 seconds quicker, isn't it, than the all-time lap record. Fantastic stuff. 43.4 is the all-time lap record around Belgium then, which was set by Granty. No, it wasn't. It's a 43.6 there, which is set by William, I should say. And of course that was back in season 2 then as well, wasn't it, of ALR. Let's see then if we can improve on that. I think we can, and of course Liam thinks we can as well then. Yellow flagger in sector 2 then as well. I'm not sure if that's a car's cover crop or BC is in the pits at the moment then, as a Mumford then coming up into the bus stop chicane, and he is going to be the first man to put a time on the board then for everyone else to chase then. Look at those brake discs glowing, fantastic. Out of the final turn, and he's done a 42.7 then to get us off the board then. Lovely stuff indeed. Here comes Walker, and he is in the pits then on his ALR debut then for Walker. Unfortunately he's had a mishap in his first attempt, and here comes Caesar coming out of the final turn, and let's see what he can do. He improves to a 41.7, and that's only 0.5 of a second away from Liam's prediction there. Good stuff indeed there. Tango then out of the final turn as well. We're on board with Tango. He goes third fast run. He's done a 2.05 for Tango then, so that's slightly slower than what we expected. Alhan then out of the final turn as well. Of course, the former race winner in silver. He goes second fast at the moment. Then he's had a fantastic season so far, Alhan, and that does include some bad luck as well over the past couple of races. So Granty then coming through Blanchimont as well. Then not going too wide out of the curb. Then lovely stuff indeed. Then for Granty then into the bus stop chicane. Then car 93 is synonymous with Granty at the moment, isn't it? In ALR, out of the final turn then for the double world champ. He goes first, fastest, and that's a great pole position there. And it is about 2,000 a second in front of Caesar. What incredible time that is. It was nip and tuck then. Farfus just started his lap as well. We've got Nigel, who is now coming out then and onto the back straight as well. We're on board with Nigel then. Granty is carrying on pole position as well. And he was on pole position last season, wasn't he, for the Williams driver, for the world champion. He needs a win here this season, doesn't he? Because he's 40 points behind Emerson, the world championship, with Emerson so far back at the moment then. As Liam's saying, good luck Tango there, as of course he is currently in 5th position there. I think that would have been pole position for the 1995 Belgian Grand Prix. So fantastic stuff there from Tang. Unfortunately that is a couple of years too late. I think he's I'd say he's about 15 years too late. No, maybe 25 years too late. Gosh, 25 years. Oh my goodness me, that gives me a cold shudder. Farfar coming out the corner with no name then. Farf has been, I think Farf has been on pole position once or twice, hasn't he, in his career? He's got 3 race wins to his name, hasn't he? The man who started off season 2 so well, his last race win was actually back in Bahrain of season 2, wasn't it? Where he won 2 for 2. Farf was very much on it like a car bonnet in his first 2 races of season 2. He's fantastic, wasn't he? Farf was, and possibly could have and should have won the Chinese Grand Prix, but unfortunately some mishaps with the safety car really didn't help him, did it? Now then, his Farfar is now coming up into Blanchimont as well in the Ferrari. His teammate BC is out, Big Orange is out, and so is Walker. Also ventured out of the pit lane as well. Sia Tango has a second bite of cherry, and he is now in a 3rd position. Look at the times at the top there, 41.7, 41.7, 41.7. It is quicker than a blink of an eye then. It is so close at the top then. Can Farfar slot himself in there? 5th fast, and he has slotted himself in between the 2 Mercedes then at this moment in time then. Good stuff indeed then. Big Orange there is on an out lap, BC is on an out lap, and Walker is now about to start his lap as well. As we're on board then as well then, let's see what Walker can do as he comes over the grid hatches to start us up into La Sourced. Of course, that was the scene of a horrific crash there in 2018 when Fernando Alonso was launched over the back of Leclerc, and when I think Hulkenberg completely misjudged his braking point. And as we're just watching Walker going through Eau Rouge and into Radion. Fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed there from Walker. And now on to the Kemmel Straight then, and coming up to Lake Common as well, touching 207 miles an hour then. Brilliant stuff indeed then, before breaking down into 4th gear at Lecombe there, just dipping under the 100 mile an hour mark. That's how quick this circle is there. It's a roller coaster, isn't it? As he goes up slightly on the curb as well. It's absolutely splendid stuff, isn't it? And Walker at the moment hasn't set a time just yet in the Haas at the moment now. And now as he's coming into the corner now then, Big Orange to start us up as well. We've got 4 minutes to go there. Walker was slightly, I thought he was going to invalidate his time there, but very much it's inch perfect there from Walker. Fantastic stuff coming through Puyong as well then. Giovinazzi had a big smash there in 2019, didn't he? Sorry. Oh goodness me then. So yeah, going back to yellow flags in freedom. It's one of the Ferraris there that's having issues. I think it's BC. No, then I think it's the other Ferraris. Farf actually who's having some issues there, and he's come back in the pits and less than 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well. Granty is currently holding all the aces, isn't he? He is on pole position by 2 thousandths of a second then from Caesar, who is second then, and it's about 6 hundredths of a second between Caesar and Tango. It is inches, isn't it? And Alhan is only a 10th of a second back, less than a 10th of a second back. It's so close at the top. I'm loving it. Here comes Walker then. Can he gate crash this pole position party? And he goes into pole position there. He's a 10th of a second in front. The man on his debut there. He's doing a Jacques Villeneuve. Impressive stuff indeed there. Here comes Big Orange there coming out the final turn. Big Orange is 6th fastest at the moment then in the racing point then. And everyone apart from BC's has set a time then with 3 minutes to go then. I'm not sure if Walker and Big Orange is going to be able to get back to the pits in time, so they might be done and dusted, so they can't defend their positions. But Walker is now got a target on his back, hasn't he? Can he keep that position? And the track evolution there around here is quite steep as well. Caesar is now merged out of the pits then. And so then at the moment, Walker then, as I said just a minute ago, he is emulating Jacques Villeneuve there. Of course, got pole position in his debut for the Williams team back in 1996 then. Of course, when he out-qualified his teammate Damon Hill, and possibly could have and should have won that race, didn't he, if he didn't have, he had some kind of fluid, didn't he, pouring out the back of that Williams there, which absolutely covered Damon Hill's Williams, wasn't it? Is that rear and front wing was meant to be white there, is absolutely covered in muck by the end of it, wasn't it? You know, I don't think the sponsors was very too pleased with that, were they, to be fair? But you can still see a bit of the sponsor as well, which of course was a famous tobacco company, which is banned in Formula 1 now, isn't it? Whether that's right or wrong, I'll let you be the judge on that one, but I gotta say there was some beautiful iconic liveries, though, wasn't there, when there was tobacco advertisement. But that's all I'm going to say about that, as we're just watching Caesar, who is I think he's the first man out on track who hasn't set, who is going to go for a second bite of the cherry as well. So we're on board Caesar then, and let's see what he can do then, what Caesar got in the tank then. Of course, Caesar has never been on pole position in his ALR career, has he? But he has got 2 podiums and a race win as well under his belt then. So Caesar then might not need pole position. And I don't think this is the most important pole position of the season, not by a long shot, is it? As there's a lot of places to overtake around it. There's going to be a lot of action as well, as we're just watching Caesar coming through the final turn as well. As Darren is saying that stop races and helmet looks great with the Haas livery of Walker. Yeah, that's a beautiful helmet, isn't it? And of course, Formula 1's message against racism, which I got to say is a very important message, isn't it? Of course, to stop discrimination all over the world, of course. And I'd like to think that ALR has never had any issues with that kind of stuff. Then, as Caesar now comes through Rouge and over Radion as well. Caesar leaving a lot of the track space on the outside there, wasn't he? Coming out of Radion then. We're on board with him now as he comes up to Lake on the hill. He is still climbing. He is 2 thousandths of a second down on his personal best so far. And the car was on the outside of the curb there, wasn't he? The car just refused to turn in, but Caesar got it turned in anyway. Lovely stuff indeed there for Caesar. Now as he dropped down the hill now, coming out of turn 8 then as well. Look at the sunshine. There is hardly any breeze there, is it? So the cars are going to be stable, aren't they? Going very wide there out of the corner, no name, which is quite a tricky turn, really, isn't it? It's touching the grass as well, and of course he touched the grass on the outside, didn't he? Caesar did, and the car there just unsettled the car coming out of Puyol there, and unfortunately that's Caesar's day done for qualifying anyway. We're just watching an Alpha Tauri come through. Oh, and he's also done the same. Tango has done the same as well. Puyol is becoming a major problem here in qualifying, and Tango and Caesar, who are both so close to the pole position times at the moment there in the first round. Unfortunately, they are not going to be able to a second bite of cherry this time around, are they? Farfair is just coming up to Lake Com as well. Here comes Beastie. Oh, Beastie there having a couple of issues there at Puyol. There's something has changed, hasn't it, down that corner? Someone dropped some oil or something, I'm not sure, but whatever the case, the car is very unsettled, isn't it? And that's not good at all. Here comes Mumford then. We're on board with Mumford. He's currently 9th for the road. He is the slowest of the times then to be set so far. As just watch it, Liam saying 10 for 10 for Style Tang, 8 for 10 for Caesar as well. As Darren saying oil turn 10, oil then. Something has definitely changed. And Mumford is inviolated this time. And we've also got BC on it as well. These second attempts here are not looking too good, are they? Is Granty still on it? He is still on it then. Well, so there's a Ferrari in front of him then. Can Granty take pole position away from Walker? Walker's out very early, wasn't he? Well, about 3 minutes, wasn't he, where he got that pole position with 3 minutes left to go then. Granty coming out, Blanchimont then. He's got one more braking point to go, and here he is, the double world champion, and breaking down then to second gear before accelerating away in the Williams there. Out of the final turn. Is this going to be pole? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Granty is slowing. Then he doesn't get pole position. And Nigel goes into 7th fast at the moment. And Farf goes into an incredible 4th position there for Farf. Lovely stuff then. Alhan then he's a 10 for a second up. That might be enough to push Tango down. And maybe even Farf as well. Alhan is hugging the inside. He's second on the grid. Alhan is on the front row of the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic qualifying performance from Alhan. But it is Walker who takes the spoils and is on pole position. His first pole position in his debut for ALR, and what a time indeed then. Alhan was millimeters away from taking that pole position, and that would have been fantastic from Alhan. What a qualifying performance there from both from Walker and from Alhan as well. Granty in third position in the end then, with Caesar in fourth, Farf is fifth there. Great to see Farf right back up there. Tango in sixth position there, Big Orange seventh, Nigel, well done to Nigel in eighth position there, Mumford in ninth, and BC in 10th position then as well. That is a top 10 and I love it. Wow, this is going to be good, isn't it? As Clark is saying, maybe Granty wants the slipstream then. Wow, 3/10 up then. As Grant saying, nah, he wanted pole position, and of course, don't everyone wants pole position. And look at the top four, less than a tenth of a second separates the top four. Fantastic. Walker debut, pole position, smashed it, completed it. Fantastic stuff back from Walker. Alhan is second there, 28 hundredths of a second away from his first pole position. Fantastic. Granty, I think that he's only had one pole position this season. Granty has, hasn't he? He was very close, wasn't he, to getting a second pole position. Of course, his other pole position was back in Baku, wasn't it, in round 8 then, and Caesar in fourth position as well. That is so close, isn't it? Look at the talent there in the first 5 rows. Is brilliant, isn't it? Right, as and as Darren is saying, double slipstream there, as Grant is saying it, cheers bro as well in the old comments as well then. And right, and so first pole position then for Walker. We're going to get another debutant winner here tonight. We've had a couple already this season, haven't we? We've had 2 so far this season. It's been really good, hasn't it, in terms of the action in gold this season. It's been fantastic, hasn't it? 19 cards then around this course set. Of course, we have 22 laps then. Who is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix? And of course, one of the best tracks on the calendar in my opinion. Well, I make no secrets about it. I think this is the best track on the calendar. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As we got talks about weights and all that kind of stuff in the old chat then, but I'm going to leave them be because there's one thing I do not like talking about, and that is weight, especially the amount of weight that I hold between my in my stomach as well. Jonathan said, "Let's go, last 2," and Jonathan there has left a open-ended question there for anyone who likes to put on a cheeky bet there. Where can Jonathan come then? As he is current, I think he's starting 18th, isn't he, or 17th? Both McLarens are on row number 8 then. Row number 9, I should say, then, is having some difficult qualifying, difficult qualifying performance. We're just waiting for Clarky then to sort himself out, and we'll be ready for the race in the not too distant future as well then. Right then, here we go then. This is going to be good stuff indeed then. We've got Eric saying, "Go Nigel, go!" We've also got Darren saying, "Come on Williams then, let's go then," as Darren has just said, "Ouch teammate." Right then, as now then just come through last source, and let's go through the grid, shall we, from front to back, from pole position there to 19th on the grid, and we got 22 laps then around historic Belgium, isn't it? It's brilliant Belgium, isn't it? This racetrack is fantastic, and at the moment and there's no sign of rain in the race end because the sky is absolutely beautiful out there, isn't it? It's fantastic, perfect conditions for race day, isn't it? Walker on pole position, and this is, I remind you then that Walker did drive in silver a couple of times, didn't he? But today is in gold, isn't he? And goodness me, he's shown he's got some gold standard. It looks like it's going to be a one-stop strategy more often than not, isn't it? But even though that graphic there reckons it'll be maybe even be a 2-stop for some drivers. Walker on pole position on the medium tires. Alhan is on the soft tires, so we watch him get a good launch there. Granty in third position, the world champion. He needs to strike whilst the iron's hot. Caesar in fourth position on medium tires. Farf on the medium tires in fifth position. Tango in sixth. He is on medium tires as well. Big Orange, soft tires. He's going to have a good launch. Nigel, the man who won last season in 8th position then. Mumford in 9th position on medium tires. And Beastie is also 10th on the medium tires then. After BC then they can choose whatever tires they want, and Mr. Lee has gone for the medium tires. FIFA has gone for soft tires for Equals as well. Emerson, the championship leader, had a bit of a problem in qualifying. He is down in 14th position, but he's on medium tires. 15th is Milan, he is also on the soft tires, and P's in 16th position as well. Remember, those guys were top 3 in Hungary. Can they do it again today? P's in 16th position, medium tires. Jonathan 17th position as well. He needs to he's having a difficult season this season. He's back in the top 10 in the championship, in the drivers' championship now though. Can he get some major points for the McLaren team? Farah Shot then, who had a qualifying ban, he is 18th on the grid and on soft tyres, and also a qualifying ban there for Clarkey, and 19th on the medium tyres as well then. Now then, here we go then. So then, as we're on board then with Walker, this is, I've got to say, how is the pressure going to be for Walker? This is first pole position in ALR. Let's see what he can do then for Walker then. He might be a veteran around the race world in league racing, but of course, this is first time on pole position in ALR then. Let's see what he's going to do then. Of course, he may not be familiar with the drivers around him, which can make a very big difference as well. As we've got Milan and Pisa, who decided not to finish the formation lap. We got one Haas in the front, one Haas in the back, and they're bookending the grid, aren't they, the Haas team tonight? And of course, Clarkey then, who was meant to be in the AlphaTauri then, so ignore the car, he said. He's making his debut for AlphaTauri tonight, albeit that looks very much like a Haas to me, doesn't it? But yes, he is in the AlphaTauri. We're on board with Clarkey then as he lines up on the grid, 19th then, and he's just looking for that yellow line there that comes out to the right hand side of the cars. That's how he chooses where to finish. A lovely shot from Walker. There are the lights then. We have 4, we have 5, and of course there's a pause, and we are not going just yet then because we're waiting for those revs then to come up then as well. And so this is when we really get going. And look, there they are. There's the revs then. Walker is revving up, and we are going Belgium. And here we go then. Walker has got away beautifully well. So is Alhan as well. With BC has got past Mumford already as we come down into turn 1 then. And Tango flying up the inside. Granty is having a duel with Caesar. And look at this. There's early contact. There's Mumford has gone around. Mumford is around then. And oh dear, his qualifying position is all gone. It's not gone too well at all. As we come through. Oh, Rouge. Everybody on this free abreast. There's damage there. And that's damage on Big Orange's car. And that's debris come off then. As oh goodness me, as they come down to Lake Com as well. Far from BC's there is really attacking Granty, the world champion. And now Caesar is up into third position as well. Granty then has still got his full wing then, but I think it's the wing damage on the racing point of Big Orange there as well. Total Pete's moved up to 12th position at the moment then. Mumford has dropped down at 10 position so far. What a shame now for Mumford, but no safety car so far. Oh, first safety car, lovely and clean so far, more or less then. Walker leads by 7 tenths a second from Alhan in second end. Caesar in third position. We've got Granty in fourth. He's lost a position. And Far in fifth position. Looking strong there. BC's gone from 10th to 6th. And fantastic. Nigel up on position there. Tango dropping down 2 positions. Nigel having to steer out of the oversteer there. And luckily not losing the position there. We've got Tang in 8th end. Equals in 9th position. Peace has gone from, oh my goodness, 16th to 10th. Fantastic. Mr. Lee 11th. Milan in 12th. Big Orange in 13th. Here comes Everson, who hasn't made up any positions whatsoever, but he's swooped on the outside of Big Orange, who's got damage to that racing point. We got John for 15th, FIFA 16th for Clarkey 17th, 18th. It's, oh my goodness me! FIFA has gone into the wall, and I'm not sure if he had a help or not there. And oh dear, and FIFA there, as he damaged the car then. Just take a look, and hopefully our front shot in just a few moments' time. Then we got a big old battle between Beasties and Nigel. Nigel's on the inside. Oh, and getting him a squeeze there. And Ryan at far shot has got a 40-second penalty as we come to complete lap 1. Alhan there is now 3 tenths of a second away at the moment. He's got off the slipstream, cut up the Kemmel straight, isn't he? And look at this, we've got Equals there, who's got past at Tango as well. Lovely stuff. We've got 2 cars in the pits, and Farshot is one of them as well. I wonder if Farshot was involved in the incident with FIFA then, as we go over Radion as well. Look at these cars there, slipstreaming away then. 7 tenths second already. Alhan is all over the way. We got a safety car. What's going on there? That's the safety car. It's Beastie. Beastie's in the wall. He's had a problem there coming out of Radion then, and Beastie there just trying to recover the car. Oh dear, and that's the safety car then. As FIFA there is just catching him as well, but BC then of course, and look at the car is squirreling there, isn't it? And I think FIFA as a BC there is I'm not sure what's going on with BC at the moment now. Is he damaged the steering wheel? I wonder if he's damaged something there. I wonder if the controller analogs are a bit knackered or something. I don't know. As just watching their BC as well and trying to come back in the pits. That is such a blow for Alhan, isn't it? Because Alhan was shaping up a move for the race leader Walker at the moment. But so as it stands, it's still status quo at the front then of Darren saying a Ferrari punted side swipes someone there. And Alhan licking his lips at this restart as well. Of course, he is on the soft tires, isn't he? And so then I think I just put the heebie-jeebies on it, really, didn't I? As soon as I said no safety car, well, unfortunately, we had a safety car, didn't we? It's going to have the likes of Mumford and a Far shot, who was who of course come in the pits early on. Big Arn's as well. Big Arn's gone to the hard tyre. Remember, he did something similar in Silverstone, didn't he, a couple of races ago, and that almost elevated him to a fantastic race victory. Can he do the same again here tonight then? Big Arn, just keep an eye on that Pink Panther or the tracing point then. It'd be very interesting to see that. And the question is anyone going to come in the pits? And I think it's too early if you want to go to the softs to the medium tyres, or is someone thinking about going to the softs to the hard tyres then? We're on board, and Alhan is coming into the pits then for the Mercedes then. So he is the first of the soft shod runners to come in the pits, and he has to slow down. Also in the pits is Farf as well, so Farf is changing his strategy as well, and the Mercedes mechanics are getting ready to work, and he's going onto those hard tyres, and Farf coming on the pits, and no delay either. There is a delay for Nigel though, isn't there? So Nigel then, of course, this is 60th Grand Prix start, and changes onto the medium tyres, and the former champion, and he comes out of the pits now. Farf is on the soft tyres. Farf is interesting strategy then, as that is FIFA in the background coming in the pits as well then, and so FIFA there is we've got BC who's crawling back to the pits, and after having some major issues then I think that BC is out of the race then, and that is a shame now for BC, isn't it? Goodness me then. And really that is a big blow, because BC, this is a safety car really, so BC they're coming in the pits and parking it, which is a shame, and it's a shame on the face of it, isn't he? But that's a shame indeed that BC out of the race. And Mumford there, who's down in 18th position as well, but he is on soft tar, so keep an eye on that then. So we're on lap 3 at the one. Then Bert Mylander then is leading us around the circuit, and 18 cars remain. BC is parked unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame really, because with this safety car anything could happen in Formula 1 and ALR, and it usually does, doesn't it? So I think parking it a bit too early, unless he had some other dramas. Of course, remember Sam, the reason why he's not racing here tonight, and he's got a problem with his steering wheel, hasn't he? And that's what I thought that BC might have had there, is he might have had issues with his steering wheel or with his controller. Remember, Sam had issues with his steering wheel, and that's what cost him a race start at the Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't it? So that was a shame indeed for Sam, and hopefully he can get that fixed and get himself back in action in ALR in the not too distant future. So, granted, and the World Championship leader, be happy that he's back in the third position, and happy that Alhan is out the way then. Of course, that is only 15 points then at the moment, and he is 40 points behind the championship leader, which is Emerson, who has got himself up to 7th position then after all this commotion at the beginning then. So we just take a look to see who's done the best in terms of the opening stint then. Okay, Clark, he probably wins that award. Then he's up 10 positions. No, he isn't. It's Pease who is up 11 positions, and Pease there who's come up 11 positions. Fantastic. Well, hasn't he? And he's right back in the right back in the thick of it. Lovely stuff indeed then. Emerson up 7 positions. Jonathan up 9 positions as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Mumford is probably the biggest loser on that occasion, and he's down 9 positions as well. 8 positions for Alhan, who's come in the pits early on and got rid of those soft tires then. And I'm wondering if the safety car be in at the end of this lap then, as we're hopefully going to be back racing in the not too distant future. I don't think that's the case though, as we're a bit too close from home at the moment, aren't we? So I don't think that the safety car is going to peel off just yet then. Let's take stock then. We're on lap 3 then, coming out to complete lap 3, and then lap 4 then. Bert Mylander is leading us around then. We have got Walker, who is not coming in the pitch yet, of course. He's on the medium tyres, as is Caesar and Granty in a second, third position, and someone is braked very heavily down the back there, and we didn't see any penalties there, so luckily we're all good then. And I think it's Farshot and FIFA Beefy coming back in the pits, and FIFA Beefy on the medium tyres, Farshot on the soft tyres. So McLaren Mechanics again on the pits now. He is on them. No, that's Red Bull. And what's Farshot going on then is McLaren Mechanics get to work. Then lovely shot here, and he's on the hard tyres. FIFA Beefy on the medium tyres as well. So both strategical calls there from both drivers. And lovely stuff indeed then, as they are now coming back out the pits then. So Equals is on the soft tyres. He's the only man on the soft tyres not to pit at this stage then. So Equals might you have the advantage there coming out of the pit when the restart happens then. The soft tyres don't need as much effort as the medium tyres to warm up, do they? So he might be quite happy with the situation at the moment. P's in 5th position. He'd be very happy with the situation after having issues in qualifying. Mr. Lee in 6th with Emerson 7th, then the Constructors World Championship leaders then 6th and 7th at the moment then, with Emerson the Championship leader. Is he going to get any help from his teammate then? 8th position is Jonathan then. He is after an issue in qualifying then. I think he's very happy. It's a dry race, and he is up to 8th. And Clarkey up in the 9th position as well. Good stuff then. Alhan, of course, is the first of the runners to pit, and he's on the hard tyre. How far can he go on those hard tyres then? Farf in 11th position then on the soft tyres, and he is coming to pits and gone from I think he went from medium to soft side. Farf did. Interesting strategy. Tango is on the hard tyres in 13th position then. Nigel in 13th position on the hard tyres as well, with Milan also pitting as well. There we got Big Arns there, who's on the hard tyres in 15th, and Mumford 16th soft tyres. Far Shot 17th, and FIFA is 18th as well. So I take a quick break there, as I always go, as I go and have all my voice cords ready to go then, because it's gonna be an electric start, isn't it? It's not the when the safety car comes in out of the bus stop chicane and out of last source. It is the run up to Les Combes. That is gonna be the factor here, isn't it? Remember 2009, where it's Giancarlo Fisichella versus Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen, of course, had the curse, didn't he? Because back then some cars had curse, other cars didn't. Force India, which Fisichella was driving, didn't have the curse, did they? Which meant the car was lighter. But unfortunately, as soon as the safety car restart happened, Fisichella didn't have an answer to Räikkönen's charge curse, the kinetic energy recovery system in that front. I think that was Kimi Räikkönen's only race winner that season, if I'm not very much mistaken. I apologise if that's not the case, but that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head then. Right then, here we go then. So Walker is going to be controlling the start then, and let's see what he can do then. Walker then has really come into ALR Gold then and really shook things up, hasn't he, on the grid then? I think we're back racing, and Walker has got no time for mind games, has he? Because we're back racing here in Belgium, and let's go once again then. So Walker's leading then by 4/10 of a second. Watch the soft shot equals. He's got a point to prove tonight, hasn't he? Then we're on lap 5 then. Walker leads then into last source, second position then. As Farf has got past Alhan already. As a Farfair is on the soft tires. Zalhan then is, oh look at this, and Far swoops on the outside then. That shows how mighty those soft tires can be, but equals not a very good start at the restart. He's a second back from Granty then, and Total Pizza is going to be very interested in the back of him as they come through a route. And Mr. Elite is oh goodness me then, but look at Emerson then, he is so close to the back of his teammate then, and now then, as you can see then, Mr. Elite then is on the inside, Emerson is on the outside, Emerson is up in the 6th position, and he passes his teammate. It's Jonathan, have a look there, he's got to have a look there, going up into Les Combes there, but nothing has been nothing there just yet. Nigel's got past that. Tango's in there. Oh, there's problems there. Nigel going on the outside, and Tango is in some issues again then. 2 for 2 races for Tango, and he's had an issue. And Mr. Lee has dropped down the order as well, and I think someone else was involved in that as well. Was it Farshot? Just take a look then. Well, Farshot has got damage there, but I'm sure someone was it Milan then? And yes, it is Milan. Milan's also had some issues as well. What a shame for Milan then. And Nigel then is proceeded up the order as well. And Mr. Elite then is strong a bit at this stage of proceedings, isn't it? We're on board, Mr. Elite, and lovely shot here from the side pod as well of the Renault driver then. But he's now got Clark all over the rear gearbox then. Milan and Tango unfortunately come to blows there after Nigel went on the outside there. Oh, and Mr. Elite they're getting very squirrely there, wasn't he? And that has really helped Clark. Yes, look at this, and Clark is all over the back coming into Blanchimont as well. Let's go on board with the Haas. We had a big shunt here in 2001, didn't we? Oh my goodness me! Between Irvine and Luciano Berti, ironically, they were teammates at the start of that season as well, wasn't they? But of course, driving for Jaguar and Prost respectively. No, respectively, I should say, not retrospectively. Look at this, the top 3 have already set fast. Look at this, and Emerson there has also thrown his has also thrown the gauntlet down for fast as well. Clark is having a look on the inside then, but Mr. Elite there, not even budging there, was he? Because I think Clark was shaking up then, but goodness me then. And now then coming out there, look at this, and we got a we've got a bit of a queue here, haven't we? Caesar is looking very interested on the rear there of Walker as we go through. Oh, Rouge and through Radion as well. Farfo, we might have 3 abreast here, haven't we? As we're coming now up until Les Combes. We're on board of Farfo. He's got a front row seat, hasn't he? Mr. Elite there. Is he going to be able to repel Clarky back? I don't think so. Clark is up the inside. Oh, climbing over the curbs there as well. Mr. Elite is not yielding though, is he? And why should he? This is a battleful position, isn't it? Of course, he's only concerned about his race and his race only. In the back, we've got the 2 Mercedes of Alhan and Nigel there. I wonder if they might do a swap-a-roo then in the Mercedes as well. I do love the team dynamic. It's fantastic, isn't it? Shane saying, let's go, Equals. He's in 4th position at the moment, isn't he? He had a bit of a poor restart, hasn't he? He is the second back, but he is keeping peas at bay, isn't he? I know, we're just watching Mr. Elite at the moment, but now I think Clark might have to think about going defensive then, because the shot soft Ferrari of Farf is going to be very much on his gearbox as well. That's a Mercedes who's off the circuit. It's Farf, he's come out of I think Giovinazzi had an issue there as well, didn't he? And Farshot has damaged the car, and he is he's going to be very frustrated, isn't he? And looking back at the front here, look at how close he is to oh my goodness me, but look how close Emerson is. He's going on the outside, but Tall Pease there is slamming the door shut then on possibly his championship rival. Pease is a bit far back at the moment, isn't he? But anything can happen in this season, can it then? Because this season's been a lot of ups and downs, hasn't it? Remember at the start it was all about Cookie was the dominating and then Emerson has really kept on just ploughing away and getting those really good results there, and he's now adjusting the steering wheel as well, going into last source as well, and got Clark who's past Mr. Lee as well, or else because Clarky is now just dropped behind as well. This is going to be a fantastic straight, isn't it? And now they're coming up to Eau Rouge as well. Look at the paces all over the back of Equals as well. We have also got to look at, oh my goodness me, I don't know where to look, I think Pease is through, Caesar is alongside Walker going up into Lake Com. He takes the lead, or does he? Because now Walker gives him a good bit of a brush there. Caesar is through. Is he going to have to get that position back though? He might have to. He's letting Walker back through, is he? He is letting Walker back through. Oh my goodness me, they've made contact though. And oh dear, and oh my gosh, it's getting a bit fisty over there, isn't it? Because he might not be letting Walker back through at all. Look at this. This is the top three battling for the lead here in Spa. I think it is in Spa, isn't it? And look at this, flying through Puyong as well. And well, I'm not sure if he was letting Caesar back through actually, or maybe he let him through, and then for that instant there to get rid of that penalty, and just put back on the throttle again. Remember, Hamilton was had the similar issue, didn't he, when he overtook Kimi Räikkönen in 2008? Remember, out of the bus stop chicane into last source. So potentially that might have happened then, but we'll find out as well. Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty, but he's in 7th position at the moment there. So Emerson and Pease got past Equals in that exchange there. But Pease and Emerson are so close now, aren't they? Look, Granty might be a bit disgruntled to see Pease and Emerson, his two championship adversaries, right behind him then, as we're now coming to the bus stop as well then. So let's see what he can do then. Caesar's already had a race win in ALR, hasn't he? Remember, back in the Austrian Grand Prix. Can he get 2 for 2 here? Nigel has just dropped down the orders. We've got problems in the background is what is going on. Jonathan's had issues, and Jonathan has dropped down the order as well in 11th position now for the McLaren, and that's a shame now for Jonathan, wasn't it? Because he was as high as 8th position at one point, wasn't he? Right then, here we go then. We've already had a fantastic run through here again, and we're on lap 8 then already in this race. This race seems to absolutely fly by, doesn't it? Favre's got a 3-second penalty. These penalties will add up towards the end then, won't they? Caesar looks like he's got a very strong car in a straight line, actually, because Walker there struggling then as we come up to Lake Com as well, and it's all status quo, isn't it? What about Farfen? As Farfen's out shaping up Mr. Lee as well, but no dice then as we come up the hill as well. Lovely stuff indeed then at the moment then. Mumford in 40th position, FIFA, and we've got Milan there who's in 20th position, and Tango also in the pits. Well, far shot out of the race then is that Tango is just swapped onto the medium tires, and he is going to have another bite of this race as well, but I think he might need a safety car or that car or something like that then to get himself back into proceedings as well. On board with Pease, and he's third in the World Championship. Remember, this man's a debutant, isn't he? He's having a fantastic season, Pease is, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then. The man who won a race already this season, hasn't he? He has been on tip-top form, hasn't he? Coming to ALR there, he is third in the World Championship, and he is about 60 points behind in the driver's standings as well. Got right in front of me. He's 62 points behind, as a matter of fact, then 21 points behind Granty in front of us at the moment then. This is very important, isn't it, for all these guys concerned. And Granty, Total Peace and Emerson, they're all battling for the championship, isn't it? 62 points does sound like a lot, but in this world of Formula 1 then it is not at all. It's one bad race and they can really bunch up there, and Peace is going to go on the outside of the champion Granty. Granty there is slamming the door shut, keeping him at base, and Walker, it's out of DRS then as Caesar is pulling away. Then we've also got Jonathan getting past Alhan as well. Jonathan is back in the points and as Alhan is on the medium tires. Remember though, Alhan is on a longer stint then, so keep an eye on Alhan later on. Oh, it's Clarky stamping on the brake pedal, and that is going to encourage Equals, isn't it? And look at this then as well, and there was Caesar, who is now starting to pull away in this race as we come through as Nigel's out of the race, and Nigel is out of this 60th Grand Prix start. What a shame for Nigel. And look at these cars, and oh, I'm looking at the wrong way then. I'm looking at the wrong way again. Now we're on board then. Please gonna have a look there, going up into Lake Com. No, it's still as it was, and FIFA's had a shot there at Radion as well. Is that going to bring the safety car? No, it's a virtual safety car at the moment, and I think that Pease in Tango will be very disgruntled by that, won't they? We've had 4 cars retire in the first 9 laps here in Belgium. Oh my goodness me, and this is it's not a car breaker, it's a driver breaker, isn't it? This Belgian Grand Prix is. And FIFA, unfortunately, in the wall in a very big way as well. And so we're down to 15 cars in this race then. And yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't a safety car for Milan and Tango to get themselves back into the action. Same with Mumford as well. And that I think would have neutralised the race in terms of strategy, though, wouldn't it? Perhaps then. But who knows then? Because I don't know anything about strategy. But all I do know is we're back racing here in Belgium. And look at that. And it's almost 2 seconds now, isn't it? An incredible pace there from from Caesar then, as Walker's in second position at the moment. Then we've got yellow flags, and as Farf has had a trip. Farf has had a major problem there, and oh dear now, and Farf has damaged the car. What a shameful Farf in the fray. He's lost the whole wing, hasn't he? And he is having a strong performance, wasn't he, Farf? He had a good qualifying performance, came in the pit, swapped onto the soft tyres. Unfortunately, he's damaged the whole of the wing then, and he is going to drop right down to the back of the field as well, because he's going to need to come in the pits. And what a shameful Farf, and that's a huge blow as well. And look at this, Jonathan and Alhan seem to not be finished with each other, because Jonathan's down on the outside, Alhan is on the inside, Jonathan is back through, and where is that? Look, and here comes Big Arns as well, who is also on the hard tyre. I think he is on the hard tyre, so he'll be going a long way in this race as well. So him and Alhan are going to be very interested towards the end of this race to see what they can do then, because they are still within the in the pit window of the front runs as well. Remember, Farf in the pits, and what a shame for Farf, and it really is. Oh my goodness me, look in the background, it's Granty, we've got yellow flags in free then, as a Farf is out of the race. And look at this, and it's Pease just it's Granty slamming the door shut then, coming up to late come as well. This is the battle, it's Walker, Granty, Pease and Emerson all battling away as well then, as you can see them coming down the hill once again, and this is fantastic battling. And Clarkey from 19th on the grid is up into 6th at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed there. So there's a lot to play for in this race, isn't it? We have now down to 14 cars, and we ain't even at half distance yet in this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. Coming into Pouillon as well, 1.5 seconds separates Walker and Caesar at the moment. Then Caesar going for a second race win of his career as well. He is 7th in the World Championship at the moment. Caesar is, isn't he? So this is going to launch him up a couple of positions as well, and I think that this might be a very strong build in season for next season. Remember, we are still for season 5 of ALR, we are still on Formula 1 2020, so there's not going to be a lot of changes with the rules, there's not going to be a lot of changes with the cars, is there? So in between 3 and 4 there's a lot of differences, wasn't it, about how the drivability of the car and how they handle. That won't be the same in season 5 then. So remember, the guys that are quick in this game more often than not might be quick on the next season as well then. So the likes of Pease, Caesar is going to be right at it from the get-go as well. So that is going to be intriguing to say the least. Emerson there almost lost his front wing now, as he was very intrigued on the back of Total Pease as we come across the line. Once again then, missed early. It's got past Equals. Equals coming in the pits there. It looked like he was, I hope he didn't go to the wall there for Equals. Pease! Oh, as we got yellow flag set, who was that then? And we got a safety car then, because Milan has gone off in a big way. And now we have got a safety car then. And where has he gone off then? And oh, goodness me. I think he's got a swapper on, hasn't he? I wonder if he got onto the curb there. And that is perfect time now for Equals, because he's in the pits, he's out now, he's on the medium tyres to the end of the race. I think it's perfect for a lot of these drivers as well. So this is going to get very intriguing indeed then. And this is going to get very intriguing indeed, isn't it? So Caesar leads then, but that's a battle, but of course his lead has been wiped out. Total Pease at the moment is in third position. He got past Grant just as the safety car came out then. So I got to say, I reckon that this man here is going to lead the race then, because he doesn't need to come in the pits then. But will he come in the pits there to change from those hard tyres? Because Big Arns and Alhan there, they're going to be on the hard tyres then, which will be definitely put for their pace as well. And this is too early for the soft tyres. Mumford has done 8 laps on those soft tyres. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered in this race, and we're half distance now here in the Belgian Grand Prix then, and I am very intrigued to see where this one goes, and it's so close, isn't it? Look at that then. There's 2 seconds between Walker and Caesar, and then 2 seconds between Clarkey and Emerson, 4 seconds between Clarkey and Mr. Elite, and 1 second between Alhan and Big Arns. That is just the top 10 reminder. That is incredible, isn't it, how close they are? Really good stuff indeed then. As you can see, look at the heat haze there, just coming off the tarmac, as we had all kinds of seasons, didn't we, in qualifying? Well, race day, it's just been absolutely beautiful sky, hasn't it? I'm tempted to get on my Oda shorts there and really get on the sunglasses and just have a lay about in the Ardennes forest there. But of course we've got a job to do first, and that job is to continue and reach a climax for the Belgian Grand Prix, and they're all in the pits then. They're in very close as well then, so it's going to be about the teams, isn't it? And let's see what the teams could do then. So Caesar in the pits, and that's the first in the garages then. So Caesar going to work then, changing onto those soft tyres, and he is in and out quicker than a hiccup. Lovely stuff indeed there, as almost getting held up there. Into the pits comes Total Peace as well, and we've also got the two Haas's there. Oh no, and Clarkey has been held up so poorly there, hasn't he? And he is now coming in the pits as well then, changing tyres up. But Clarkey, would he have lost a position there? Well, Caesar comes out as well, and I think everyone's coming in the pits. They have indeed then. So Equals was of course, came in the pits earlier on. Then he is back into a magnificent 7th position, is he? He is indeed there. Jonathan is on soft tires, medium tires for Alhan, and for Mr. Elite is on the hard tires. Mr. Elite on hard tires. I wonder if he's run out of soft medium tires, perhaps. Big Arns there on the medium tires, and Mumford on medium tires, and Tango coming into the pits as well. He's right at the back of the field then, but this is going to be very interesting indeed then. And there's the AlphaTauri team going to work there. So we have lost Milan, Farf, we have lost FIFA Beefy, Nigel, Farshot and Beastie all out of this race set, as Tango coming out of the pits now as well. So we got about half the field on soft tires. So we've got medium tires there for Equals. We've also got medium for Alhan, Mr. Elite on the hard tires, Big Arns on medium tires, Mumford on medium tires, soft tires for Tango. The question that I've got is, can the soft tires get to the end then? We've got 10 laps then. Very interesting stuff indeed, isn't it? So I got to say then, I think the longest anyone's been on the hard tires was 8 laps, wasn't it? The fuel load has come down then, so the these ain't going to take us too much punishment on the tires there in terms of braking and turning with that big amount of fuel as well. But I'm wondering though if the medium tires should be able to get to the end quite comfortably. The soft tires, I got a question mark. I'm not sure about you guys at home there, because you guys know a lot more than me about tire strategy and Formula 1 and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, give me your opinion in the old comments. That'll be fantastic. Anyway then, so yes, we're on 10 laps to go then for this Belgian Grand Prix. The lap around here doesn't take too long, do they? Because it's such a lap, it's quite low here, isn't it? But because the track is so long, of course, that is why we got only 22 laps, of course, as well. Jonathan, will we still be on a PS4 for season 5? Because some people can't get the PS5 yet then as well. I'm sure that it's I'm sure it doesn't make a difference. You've got PS4, PS5, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. But I'm sure that it doesn't make a difference, does it? And I don't, to be honest, I got this on PS4, and I don't think I'm going to buy the F1 for the PS5 when I've already gone for the PS4 then. And well, you can't even get anywhere at the moment, can you? Because of because it's all out of stock everywhere, isn't it? Equals saying I did 11 laps with soft tyres, so Equals has said that the soft tyres should go to the end quite comfortably indeed. And of course, that was a very good point there from Equals, because obviously I haven't been paying attention, have I? Right then, we're going to be back racing in not too long then, so the soft tyres should get to the end then, but they're not going to be in good condition as the medium tyres, because they do wear out quicker. But the question is, how much will they wear out then? So Burman Anders leading us across the line once again. We've had 2 safety cars in this race then, as the pit window is now open. Is anyone going to come in? Maybe Mumford or maybe Big Arns might throw on a set of soft tyres then for these ends, didn't they, perhaps then? But we'll find out. I don't think they will though, because they've all passed the pit entry there, and I think that this is what they got to stick with now, aren't they? Mr. Lee on the hard tyres there. He's gonna struggle for tyre warm up, unfortunately, in the Red Bull there, in the Renault there. And I think Mr. Lee's changed his name, hasn't he? I think he has indeed. So fantastic stuff for Mr. Lee, 44. Lovely stuff indeed there. I apologise, I only just noticed that. So he probably have had that changed like a couple of weeks ago. So yep, apologise, Mr. Lee. And I think someone needs to change his name in the standings as well. So they better get on with that and sort it out. Right then. So then let's take stock then, as we're on lap 13 out of 22 then. It is Caesar leading the race then. He's going for a second race win of his career in ALR and his second race win of his season. Walker is second on a magnificent debut so far, and still emulating Jacques Villeneuve, because Jacques Villeneuve finished second on his Australian debut as well. Good stuff. Pease in third position. A fantastic drive from Pease so far, and from Emerson as well. They've come from near the back of the field up into third and fifth. Granty in fourth position at the moment there. It'd be disappointing because this is the day where he probably wants to get some major points hauling over Pease and Emerson, but that's not the case at the moment. Emerson's got a 5-second Mumford's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags there, so that's not good at all. We got Clarkey from the back of the field up into sixth head. Fantastic stuff from Clarkey on his debut for the AlphaTauri. Seventh position is Equals. He is on the medium tire to the end then. Keep an eye out for Equals. He might be this might be a good, interesting end of the race for Equals. He's also in the relegation zone at the moment, Equals is, but some points here today would be very handy indeed. Jonathan in 8th position. He is on the soft tire set, so he is going to be quick as well at the restart. Alhan in 9th position, and unfortunately strategy has gone against him, but once again Alhan on a fantastic qualifying. Remember in Hungary, he started second on the grid there and had an issue with the start line, I think, didn't he? And then unfortunately he just and today he's just been on the wrong strategy, hasn't he? Saved cars in the end of this lap. Mr. Elite in 10th position. He's on the hard tire side, so he's going to comfortably get to the end then. But I think that he might just have a bit of trouble there with tire warm up. Big Orange in 11th position there. Mumford in 12th. He's just been getting a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags there. And Tango is in 13th position. Then of course, as Tango was looking strong in Hungary, but unfortunately didn't get past the first lap then. Right then, here we go then. Caesar is now controlling the race restart. race. Let Bert Mylander go then. Of course, Walker just kind of launched out of Blanchemont. Is he going to be the same again? This corner right here then. He has still not dropped the hammer just yet. We're on board with the Red Bull then. When is he going to go? When is he going to go then? And he is still not gone yet, and so he is very much doing the opposite to Walker, isn't he? And he still hasn't dropped the hammer just yet then. I think we'll out this final turn, and now we are back racing then, and indeed we are then. So Caesar leads this race, and we're on lap 14 then, and we're back green here in Belgium then, and we're coming into the twilight of this race as well for gold season 4 then. Caesar leads then, second position is Walker, Pease is in third position then, fourth position is Granty, Emerson in fifth position then. Emerson's looking very interesting on the back of Granty then. Sixth position is Clark, seventh position is equals with Jonathan, eighth position, ninth Alhan, and 10th position is Mr. Lee, but Big Arn's also all over the back of him as well. And look at this then, Grant is in trouble then, and he is side by side with his championship compadre at the moment. He's on the outside there, but Granty is not giving an inch then, and he is still in fourth position then. Lovely stuff indeed then. Mr. Elite is still in front of Big Arns, and good stuff there from Mr. Elite. And I was questioning he might struggle at the beginning of this restart. How wrong was I? Caesar then, can he now? Oh goodness me, he's gone wide then, and that has really made Walker very interesting as well. Good race from Walker. I'm absolutely impressed with this man. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? That 14 out of 22 to go through Pouillon as well then. And now kind of Caesar, who did pull away last time out, didn't he? When he did take the lead then, because he did have the pace advantage in race trim in that Red Bull. Red Bull second in the World Championship as well. So this would be also important points as well for the Red Bull team. Renault at the moment, though, with the other Red Bull FIFA out of this race, and Renault there would need to get as many points as possible there, so they don't lose too many points there to Red Bull, because they are still fairly close then in this championship we're on round 14 out of 22 then. Now Granty then, as he got the pace there to push Pease then. Of course, Pease up in the third position now, and he's becoming a real oh, look at this, Jonathan, oh my goodness me then, and kind of cross there, he cross then, is that we've also got Mr. Elite, and we've also got Mr. Elite and Mr. Elite and Big Arns. I'll figure this. That says Big Arns out. Oh my goodness me! And into the bus stop chicane as well. Big Arns is still on the outside here, on board there with the race and point driver. He'll have the inside coming into last source as well. Mr. Elite though is cutting across then, and he is through. And still in 10th position. This is the foul for the final placement. It's almost 2 seconds away from that train in front now, isn't it? So they're dropping back. Jonathan's got past equals. Now has he got the pace there to get after the front runners? And looking at the front runners as well. Look at these guys in there, just slipstreaming each other, come to late calm as well then. And look at this, Cecil there, still got the advance as well. What about back down the order there? Jonathan there is currently in no man's land at the moment, but I think Big Arns there is not in no man's land. There he is, there he's just passing Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee is breaking so much there. Mr. Lee is on the outside to late calm, but Big Arns is through. And up into 10th position, and Mumford is the next man that Mr. Lee has got to be wary of. And there he is, and is he going to have a lunge? No, not quite then. And Caesar now is trying to get a DRS ring, because the DRS will be activated at the end of this lap, of course. So, and that will make Caesar's issues very much harder, won't it, in terms of defending? But Walker's dropping out on that DRS range. He's almost out of it already, isn't he? And now Walker has got to start to think about repelling the attack of this man here, Pease, and he has been fantastic, hasn't he? This is a debut season for Pease, but he has been absolutely magnificent, hasn't he? And now then he is on this back straight as well, and so we're waiting for DRS, and Emerson is now all over the back of Granty. These two men have been fighting for the championship for season 2 and season 3, and now for season 4. But at the moment then, Emerson does have quite a big points advantage of 40 points so far, and he's going to try and extend it, as we've got very dark clouds there gathering overhead in Belgium, but also between the two battling champions as well. The championship contenders, I say, Emerson is squeezed on the inside there, and Granty has dropped down to 5th position there. Emerson is over the 4th position, but Granty is not giving up there, because look at this, he's coming back at him, coming into last source, and they almost tangle wheels there, and Emerson is on the inside, Granty is on the outside, Granty is on the inside to stay there, but look at this, and then wheel to wheel, going up into Radion in Overrouge. Oh my goodness me, they're banging wheels again. Emerson has it, oh does he? Oh my goodness me, they went side by side. Oh my gosh, and they've come together. Emerson is out of the Belgian Grand Prix, and that's a virtual safety car. Oh my goodness me, Emerson is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. What a shame. Oh goodness me. And Granty then, has he got damage there? Just taking a look then. Granty hasn't got any damage at all. They were going side by side up into Eau Rouge and Radion. Remember, we've had a couple of times like that before. Raikkonen and Schumacher 2012. Weber and Alonso more famously in 2011 there. Unfortunately, that hasn't gone too well for the two championship protagonists, has it? And that is a big blow for Emerson. He is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. And Darren has just it's summed it up there with one phrase there. And that's absolutely... Well, that's a shocking development in the World Championship. DRS has been enabled, hasn't it? And now then Granty is the meat in the sandwich there of the Haas guys, and Clarkey is now in 5th position. Jonathan's moved himself into 6th. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Walker has dropped down into third position under that... with all that going on then, Caesar has already got a race win, and so is Pease as well, and so both these two are going for their second race win in their ALR career then. And I think that's definitely got everything chatting as well. Liam there is also a bit in shock about what has gone on there with Granty and Emerson, but we're just taking a look then because Clarkey is now going on the outside of Granty. Then Granty is defended, but Clarkey is through and up into 4th position. He's come from 19th on the grid to 4th. What a drive from Clarkey. He has a realistic chance of a podium there. The man who is in the Alpha Tari, and what a way to celebrate your debut in a 4C in ALR with an impressive podium. But at the moment he's has a bit of issues. I come off last source there, and really dropping back down as well. And it's, oh goodness me, there we are. We had a bug on the TV there. That really scared me. And now come through Radion and Eau Rouge as well there on the back straight. And we've got to go back to this battle here. Look at this, there's a Pease is taking the lead. Pease is going for the lead with 5 laps go. He takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. What an incredible race there for Pease. My goodness me, this man is impressive, isn't he? Fantastic. And this is a day I already mentioned earlier on that this is this championship is not over, is it? And a one non-score there is going to be crucial. And look who the non-scores are. It's Emerson who's out of this race, and after him and Granty came to blows there at the top of Radion there. There's drama here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Granty's got a 3-second penalty as well. That is going to drop him beyond Jonathan Cox as well at this stage of proceedings then. Oh goodness me then. As oh my gosh, this has been drama, hasn't it, here in the Belgian Grand Prix qualifying, where he had a wet weather session there, where we had all the top 3 from the last race there, right at the back of the field, didn't we? Now in this race as well, it's all kind of blown off, hasn't it? Oh my goodness me! Right then, so we've got Total Pease then. Has he got the pace then to stretch out from Caesar then? Caesar was looking quite comfortable in the middle part of this race there, but Total Pease. Oh, Walker's off, and he's off there, coming out blood someone then. He's come back on the track. They have to take a face of action. Walker in his debut there in gold there is having some issues there. He is caused Raikkonen a crash there in 2008. He is in the pits there for Walker. What a shame for the Haas driver. He got his first pole position as well, but today it's all ended unfortunately in the wall then. And Tango is dropped right down to the button. So issues there with the other Alpha Tower as well. Pease is leading in second position is at Caesar. We got Clark in for a position. Granty is back up in the 4th then as well. But he does have a charge, and Jonathan Cox behind him as well in 5th position and 6th position is Equals. And this is a good day for Equals. If he can stay where he is, and he'll be out of the relegation zone. And unfortunately, Sam with issues with his equipment and his steering wheel, he is going to drop into the relegation zone. Then Alhan then, who was on the front row, is in 8th position. And he is on the medium tires with 4 laps to go. Yellow flag in at 1 as well. As Walker there is crawling out of the pits, and I think that this might be the end of the day for Walker. What a shame then, and what a blow then for Walker as well. Big blow indeed then for the man who's on pole position in his debut then. Oh, absolutely incredible stuff, Fed. Absolutely incredible. And Pease is currently leading this race then with going for a second result. Caesar in second position there. Clarkey, oh my goodness me, he's going to get drawn today, isn't he? Fantastic. He's gone from 19th to 3rd in this race. Well, so Clarkey, my goodness me then. Absolutely brilliant draw indeed from Clarkey. We've got Mr. Elite and Alhan then. Alhan, look at this, that is Mr. Elite, and it's got past Alhan. And now we got Mumford as well, who's also in the facility as well. Mumford currently just outside the points, and they've got a 42-second deficit between Walker and Tango. Tango and Walker are having major issues at the back of the field as well. As just on board now then is Alhan there is really struggling. As Alhan had some issues there in the Mercedes. Of course, he's the only Mercedes left in this race. And look at this, Mumford there is gaining on him, going through Blanchemont. He's on the outside. Oh, he's going to switch into the inside then. As we've also got Big Orange and Equals, and they're swapping positions there. And as a Big Orange has passed Equals, and Big Orange is up into 6th position then. Good some indeed there for the racing point driver then. as he is now the highest of the medium runner tires, and 5 seconds away from Jonathan, who is in at 5th position at the moment. Equals I think Equals just needs a point, doesn't he, really, to get himself out of the relegation zone. It's so tight down the bottom of the stands at the moment, isn't it, of course, and that's what it's all about. If you get relegated, you'll be going to silver on Mondays, of course. And there's only 2 relegation spots this season, with Pillars and XR swapping now, but there'll be no more drivers swapping them throughout the rest of the season, of course. And Mumford then is currently in 10th position at the moment, and he is 11 points out, and that's Big Orange is defending from Equals, because Equals is trying to come back at him at the moment. Mr. Elite then dropping down into 8th position, and with a couple of cars behind him as well. Mr. Elite then, can he defend as well? Walker's back in the pits, as having a nightmare. Back on board the race lead at the moment. Then this is going to be yellow flags, and it's Walker's out of the race, and Tango is also confirmed now that he is not in the race anymore. So we've got 10 cars left then out of the 19 that started, and as now Clarkey is homing in on Caesar for the battle for 2nd position, and Mumford has got past Alhan is, oh my goodness me, Alhan is also doing a bit of Tokyo drift in there as well. He's damaged the end plate, the Mercedes driver has. Mumford is now up into 9th position as well. That might be the reason why Alhan is struggling at this stage of proceedings then, but he will get a point nonetheless then for his troubles. But starting on the front row, Alhan would be expecting a bit more than that, so what a shame for the Mercedes driver, isn't it, as we're now on lap 20 out of 22 then as well. Caesar is going to have to really start to think about defending this. He says, Clarkey, what a drive there, absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. And it's coming out of last sorts as well, and now then as we race down into Eau Rouge and Radion as well. Then Caesar, then now we have Clarkey, then Caesar, then will he be disgruntled with this result, or will he be happy then? Pease is going to be ecstatic with this result. Remember, he's done a Schumacher-esque kind of thing, hasn't he? Coming from, I think he was 15th or 14th, wasn't he, or maybe even 16th, somewhere around there. And look at this, then Clarkey, is he going to have a look then, come up to Lacombe? No, not quite then, as Caesar is still in front then, just about then as well. So Caesar just about repelling the attack of Clarkey, but he's got 2 more laps then to repel it, hasn't he? Grant, he is a second behind at the moment, and of course he's got a 3-second penalty, so I think his attention might be focusing more beyond the moment. Grant just but this is some more points. He's going to be gaining 12 points out of Emerson then at the end of this race as well then, so the gap will be down to, as I do on-air maths, which is never a good sign, I think we'll be down to 28 points there as well then, so he's still over a race wins behind if things stays as they are. Oh, Clarkey there getting very struggling there, isn't he, with the grip on that Haas, and I think all these soft tyre runners are going to be... Oh my goodness me! And he's already spun it! Clarkey has spun it there, so he got a bit too greedy, and he's in the gravel! Oh, he's in the wall as well! Clarkey has he damaged the end plate? No, I don't think so. So just a brush on the wall there, and he just got a bit too greedy, hasn't he? The tyres there! He was asking too much of the tyres there. Clarkey is down in 5th position. The man who was on emphatic form there is right down the butt, is dropping right down the order as well. Now he's big, oh my goodness me, Big Orange and Clarkey there are still banging away though, isn't he? Clark there is going to have screaming hot tyres there. Is he going to be able to brake? He does brake that. And he hasn't gotten damage then, so Clarkey still wants some points in this race. What a shame there. What a shame indeed then for Clarkey. He's had an absolutely outstanding drive, man. But just goes to show how quick things can change in Formula 1. Alhan is in the pits for the Mercedes team. I wonder if he's going to try and get fast up and get another get an extra point as well. As Darren said, Clarkey can still win this race, and then unfortunately he came back a couple of minutes later. No, he can't, which is a shame, isn't it? Well, what a shame for Clarkey. I apologise, Clarkey. I think I jinxed him there. He's now side by side with Big Orange. He's on the soft tyres, so that's still shot. Oh, and also I'm giving him a brutal chop as well, going up to Lake Holm there. So is that Clarkey down into 5th position as well. Big Orange in 6th position, Equal 7th. Mr. Lee doing a fantastic job actually on those hard tires in 8th position. Lovely stuff indeed. Mumford in 9th position, a couple of points for the Williams team. Lovely stuff indeed then. And Alhan in 10th position. Tango out of the race along with Walker, Emerson, Milan, Farf, FIFA, Nigel, as Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty. Nigel, Fireshot and BC all out of this race then. As look at how much these cars are now starting to move underneath these guys. It's absolutely going to be skill, the highest of the utmost level here, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed then. And And I think Grant is now going to be 25 points behind, but he's got another 3-second penalty. And I think Jonathan has as well. Then. So if Grant finishes third position, the gap will be down. We'll be down to 25 points then as well. Then as we are approaching the end of this race. Then, oh goodness me then. And now there's just watching Big Orange at the moment, and he's less than half a second back. And Grant, as we start the final up, then is less than a second behind as well. So he will have DRS range as well, as we are now on the final tour, the incredible French circuit, and this race has not failed to disappoint, has it? Wow, it's been brilliant stuff indeed then. Who is going to let's see who is going to make or break their races tonight then. And I think that there's been a lot of people who have already broke their races, hasn't it? Total Pizzo, and it's going for a second race win in 3 races, if I'm not very much mistaken, hasn't he? Of course, he won in the in British Grand Prix. He finished second in Hungary. He is the man on 4 in the own Peas, isn't he? Let's see if he can get to the end. He's got one more tour to go, hasn't he? Granted there, just the straight was not straight enough, but he will not go up there. And look at this, and as E-Cross is defending against Mr. Elite as hard as he can then. And coming up to late come as well as Clarkey just about keeping him in front as well. Mumford dropping back slightly as well then. As just back on board now with Granty then, and I think that the day which was looking quite bleak, wasn't it? But Granty is all about consistency, isn't he? That's how he won his first championship, and here tonight then, as well, and he's getting a podium then as well, as it stands, of course. Then, but haven't kept up with the old penalties, have I? Ooh, oh my gosh. And Big Iron's got 3-second penalty as well, and so this might not be over until they all cross the line as well, because we've got a couple of penalties that needs to be distributed out at the end of this session, don't we? As now Mr. Lee there is all over the gearbox there for Equals. Equals there, has he got the defending prowess then? But this is a big day for Equals there to get some major points on the board, isn't it, for the Alfa Romeo? Move himself out of the drop zone. Total Peas then in the last 3 races has been absolutely magnificent, and he wins his second race of the career. He wins the Belgium Grand Prix for Peas. No, he doesn't. Caesar wins the Belgium Grand Prix, his second race win of the season for Caesar. Wow, what a drive there from Caesar. I didn't even fathom it. Half a second back was Peas in the end. Grant in third, Jonathan fourth. Equals is in 5th position. Mr. Elite 6th, Clarkey 7th, Big Arch 8th, Mumford in 9th, and Alhan is in 10th position going for fastest lap. But it is Caesar who wins his second race win of the season there. And of course he won his first race in Austria, and he is back on the top step of the podium. Fantastic stuff for the Red Bull. Really good stuff indeed there. Second position was Total Peace. Third position was Granty. Equals, what a race and what a performance from Equals. Well, he gets himself right into the top. That's his best performance, his best race performance, his best position of the season as well. Driver of the day, Total Peas. Well, I can't argue with that then. Brilliant driving day for Total Peas. He was half a second away from winning this race as well, and I thought he won it. I thought it was all done and dusted. How wrong was I? I was, I gotta say, I'm usually wrong, and not surprised there. But look at this then, as Caesar is going to be over the moon with this result. Fantastic stuff indeed then, and he is on top form, isn't he? He wins this race then. He won his first race in Austria, and now he's broken through the glass ceiling. And same with Total Peas as well. Them two are big players in the championship for this season and for next season as well. Incredible stuff indeed then. In the last 3 races, Total Peas has actually scored more points than anyone else, and then Total Peas also get fastest up as well, from 16th on the grid there to second in the end for Total Peas, and getting driver of the day as well. Almost emulated Michael Schumacher from 16th on the grid to win this race. That would have been fantastic, wouldn't it? Caesar though won the race there. Brilliant stuff for Caesar. His second race win of his career. Fantastic stuff. Total Peas in second, as I said, the man who scored the most amount of points in the last 3 races. First and 2 seconds, half a second away from winning this race as well. Granty in third position there, of course. Big points today there for Grant. He is now 25 points behind Emerson. Fourth position, Jonathan, his best result of the season. Brilliant stuff there from the British Italian driver. Equals his best result of his career in 5th position. He moves himself out of the relegation zone. Mr. Elite, once again, a strong performance there from the Renault driver in 7th. Clarkey, what could have been, he potentially could have won from 19th on the grid there. Issues down at Stavolo, unfortunately. 8th position was Big Arns there in the racing point. Mumford in 9th position. Alhan from 2nd on the grid down to 10th, and a nightmare day for Alhan. Retirements, Tango, Walker, Emerson, Milan, Far, FIFA Beefy, Nigel, Farshot and Beastie all retired from this epic Belgium Grand Prix. And thank you all for joining us. It's been absolutely a pleasure today to hear you in the comments there, and also to hear you also have your opinions as well. Then, of course, before we go though, we must have an interview with the drivers as well. Then, and let's start with Caesar, shall we say? Caesar, you're making a great habit of this at the moment, and this is your second race win of your career. Of course, you won back last time in Austria as well. How are you feeling about today? Is this better than Austria?
Definitely much more intense. I was able to fight the other guys as well. Total Peace and Grant Boy, congratulations to both of them. I mean, it was a pretty strong drive from Peace there. I knew he had great pace in Belgium, and it was all about keeping him behind. I was surprised to see him up the order when he was making the move, but once I came to know that he has a penalty, it was all about just maintaining that 3 seconds gap, and yeah, fortunately that's what I did.
Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Then I know that in terms of championships, you're probably not thinking about it, but how are you feeling for the remainder of the season? What's your aims and ambitions?
I mean, finishing as high in the order as possible. Of course, championship is out of the out of the window because I joined this league late, but it plays sort of a psychological thing going to the next season. I know there's still a bit of a time to go, but yeah, hopefully next season will be a stronger one where I can fight. So yeah, it's all about getting to know how the drivers are in this league and how they drive. So learning.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Well done, Caesar. Your second race win. First one was in Austria as well. I've got to say, you're on fine Vettel at the moment. Brilliant. Let's come to Total Peas, who got drawn today as well. Total Peas, I think he was eliminating Michael Schumacher there from 16th to almost win the race. He was half a second away in the end, but what a fantastic drive through the field from you.
Get some good points, but I didn't expect to be as high as I was, and I couldn't put up that 3 seconds that I needed to win the race in the end from Caesar.
You've closed the gap quite heavily on Emerson today after Emerson's no score then, so I would say you're now really within the championship hunt. Do you feel like that's the case?
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer, and I think now there's more of a chance of me being involved now, especially since the last few races I've had quite a good string of few results, so yeah, well, I'm not counting it out.
Definitely not. I've got to say, since Austria, you've been first or second. You've been absolutely fantastic in the last 4 races. You've been the highest scorer. So I've got to say, it's looking good then for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant stuff indeed then. And let's come to the defending champion, Granty then. Granty, you finished third in the end today, but I got to say, that looked quite tough out there for you.
Yeah, it was tough, mate, to be honest. The guys that obviously came from last to finishing first had really good pace today. I don't know where my pace has gone on the last few races, but I need to up it and hopefully still defend off for the championship for the third time running and yeah, see what goes on for the next races.
You say that, but I think your lowest position since Canada has been 4th position now, so you're still getting those points in, and you've now with 25 points within Emerson as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what happened on track happened on track. I felt like Rouge is a bit of a struggle going side by side with me and Caesar. I had to yeet from that. It was a bit of a struggle. Me and Emerson, I didn't want to yeet it because I knew the points were on the line, so I had to try and defend it as much as possible.
Really good stuff indeed. Well done, Granty. And well done to the rest of the 2 rostering winners as well. Fantastic race today. I really enjoyed Belgium. It was fantastic. But when isn't Belgium fantastic? Of course, then we'll be back in action for tomorrow night for silver, of course. 7:30 UK time then, of course. Be there or be square. Goodbye.